So, Mickey.
Yeah, I'm with
you. What do you think about, go with me, this concept that you can literally take any two words and just throw them at the end of the word professor, and it sounds like a person that works at Hogwarts. For example, Professor Wobblycock. That's totally could be Professor Flitwick's best friend or assistant, right?
Okay.
What do you,
you're
you say, you pick any two words.
Okay, Professor Teethwing.
Right?
That's a really good one, right?
He, used to be, the person who did Hagrid's job, but he retired. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or, Professor Glass of Wine in my mouth. Now, that one's not quite as good, but, you get the point, right?
Yeah, like Professor Meth Sad.
Yeah.
That's a grittier version of the universe, you know?
Or Professor Beach Bum.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think that, that must be how JK got all of her stuff. Because we're on, first initial basis. Me and Mrs. Rawling.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, me and JK. Oh, anyways, welcome back to another ridiculous episode of Beauty and the Bitch. I'm Morgan.
And I'm the beauty.
That is stupid. That's Professor bullshit right there. That's who you are. That's what you teach. Your specialty. And
I'm Mick.
Yeah, that's right. You are. And never fucking forget it. Well, babies, today Mick is
I've been waiting for I thought of doing that 6 episodes ago, and I was like, no, I should just introduce myself. But today was the day, girl. I came out swinging.
You fucking shade. Yeah. So anyways, today we are discussing the first of many. We're going to talk about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or the Philosopher's Stone if you're OG, I guess.
If you're fancy and cosmopolitan.
Or from anywhere else in the world that's not America.
Yeah, well,
So, that's what's happening.
So I was kind of and I don't think I'm alone here. I was a little bit nervy about this.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, me too. Because there's so I feel like I know so much about Harry Potter, and I feel like I have exhausted conversation about it because, anyone, some lady could be talking to her child named Harry at the grocery store, and I will just, put myself in her conversation and be like, what's that about Harry? Oh, you're a wizard? So anyways, what do you think pumpkin pastilles taste like? Right. What's a pastil? Let's go to the baking aisle. And she's like, bitch, it's Friday and I'm trying to go home.
Right, and you're trying to steal her child. I've got my eyes on you. I'm catching a predator.
If your kid has a scar on his forehead, I need to investigate it.
Well, yeah, so it's not only do people talk about it all the time, but we have taken in all of that talk over the years. So my big fear was okay, we're not going to have anything new to say, or my opinion is just an opinion cribbed from a JK, interview from 10 years ago or something. Because it's so subconscious, we grew up with Harry Potter. It's so deep inside of us.
And I imagine for you, the fear of being unoriginal is just an all day, everyday thing. So this is just one more facet where you're probably gonna fail, right?
Okay, I see where you're going with this, and you're right, I am a classic beauty. That's true.
You're such a basic bitch right now. I can't help it if I'm well liked.
Oh, fall backwards. Okay, so that was a big fear. I was also kind of afraid because I've listened to other podcasts about Harry Potter. They're not rare.
What's that one? Harry Potter and the Sacred Text?
That's totally what
That's
I'm
such a great
today.
idea. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah. If you don't know what that is, listen to the entire episode, and I'll tell you at the very end.
Dun, dun, dun.
What?
So yes, I know what you mean. It's very saturated.
Exactly.
And also, for me, a big part, or I think the biggest part of why I'm nervous about talking about it and have had some trepidation, while I pull my material together, is because when things are really close to your heart, there's so much fear of I don't even fucking know. I can't possibly fail at just talking about Harry Potter.
Oh, I disagree.
Oh, girl. But there's still this little bubble that this gray cloud that's hanging over me discussing it. And it's weird because I can't put my finger on it, but I feel that way a lot about writing projects, right? Like if you're working really hard on something, and even if like you're really intimate with it and you know where it's going and you have a lot to say about it, sometimes you just like can't articulate. So you just like don't. You just like abandon ship.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I guess the point that we're trying to make is
we're really scared.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck.
Turn your radio off now because you're listening to a radio.
I was gonna say radio. What?
I don't know.
You're so nervous that you've forgotten what year it is.
I'm stupid. No, but I did see this purse the other day. It was like a Betsy Johnson, and it was like, it looked like a rotary phone, and it had like a phone with a cord attached that you could plug into your cell phone and leave your cell phone in your purse and like talk on your like rotary cell phone purse. I know. And I was like, I need this. And Aaron was like, it's $100. And I was like, what was the question?
Right? Speaking of things that make us sad and nervous, Betsy Johnson going bankrupt and when all her stores closed down.
Wait, I don't know anything about what you're saying.
That happened like 2011, I think.
I guess that explains why her purse was for sale at DSW then.
Yeah. Well, now I think she has a line that's like with Sears, or something.
Oh, like girl, that. Sears is closing down. She picking the wrong stores.
Where is Regina George going to go buy a dress now that she's not a size 6?
We only sell 1, 3, and 5. Try Sears.
Oh.
Also, like, what about, like, sizes 2 and 4? Like, you have to, like, either, like, gain weight, eat, like, 5 almonds and fit into, like, a 3? I don't know. It's
fuck that
fucking
store.
Bonkers. Also, it's a terrible store name.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful.
The store's called 1, 3, and 5.
That dress wasn't that cute anyway.
Oh, no.
If y'all don't know what we're talking about, you should listen to... Oh, has it come out already?
It's the next episode.
Okay.
Upcoming tales about Mean Girls in episode 11 of Beauty and the Bitch.
That's the thing that I think people would not guess about our podcast is that we actually recorded all kinds of out of order. Mm-hmm. And like, I think the biggest mental puzzle in my life right now is trying to figure out which podcast goes where.
Girl, we gotta get you a Sudoku.
Girl, yes, please.
We need to challenge
please. I need that
your
whole
brain.
book of Sudoku. You know what I mean?
I feel like first time I tried to do Sudoku, I was like, yeah, I get what you're doing here, but like, no. I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Like when I'm on an airplane and they always have the Sudoku. I can't even say it.
I'm probably saying it wrong, actually.
They have that old Suddy Buddy puzzle. And it's always in the back of like the airline magazine.
Professor Suddy Buddy.
See, it does work. You're right. That sounds like a fun class. Anyway, I always flip angrily past a Sudoku page because I'm like, why the fuck would I fill this out? Yeah. But someone else has already, almost always, rudely filled it out and then put the magazine back in the little behind the seat thing, which I hate. I think if you fill out the puzzle, you should take the magazine with you because then they'll replace it with a new one.
Yeah,
but people have no manners.
You know what? Let's change the trajectory of our podcast. Fuck Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what airlines can improve on.
Oh my God. We've done some long podcasts in the past. I think we're talking like 5 or 6 hours, girl.
It's a marathon.
And now we're even going to get up. We're just going to shit ourselves right where we're sitting.
Well, that's fair.
I did that already.
Oh, no.
I'm doing it.
Oh, right now? Oh my God. So, circling back around from the tangential fucking island that just broke off from the mainland, California in the future.
Floated away. The Atlantis of our conversation.
Pretty much. It's sinking right as we speak. We had some, not reservations, but just fears about taking it on. And also because I think you phrased it in this very eloquent way. We didn't want to blow our wad on the first episode.
I am often eloquent. Yes, I am.
We literally have a marathon to go. I mean, we're not going to just hit you with Harry Potter after Harry Potter, but we've got 7 episodes to take on, and we don't. And we need to save some of our wad for the later eps. So it's a challenge over here.
Yeah, we want to spread our seed gently and evenly amongst the many muffins that we're buttering.
Yes, and we will be assigning someone to butter your muffins, listeners, so stay tuned for that.
Please comment below if your muffin is not yet buttered.
Comment now. Call Mickey's cell phone at 510.
No! That's the call I least want to get. Okay.
That's great. So, just from the 10 minutes and 9 seconds that we've been talking, I think that you can tell we're pretty big Harry Potter fans.
And big heroine fans.
Yeah. Oh, I did just watch the new Trainspotting movie, but anyways, that's for another day.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, lots of heroin, which is really gross and brown looking.
Yeah, heroin's horrible. It's like one of the worst drugs.
Yeah, so, no thank you.
No, I want to stay beautiful forever.
So, based on our 5-star, 10 out of 10, 100% rating that we're just preemptively giving to Harry Potter.
This book, at least. I have thoughts about later books.
Oh, sure. What do other people think about it? Okay, so I pulled the ratings from Goodreads. I think you'll be happy to hear that it has 4.43 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. That's a little
bit less than I would have
Well,
thought.
because there's some fucking haters on there, which we will talk about later.
I have some stuff, too.
And on Rotten Tomatoes, the movie got an 80%, which I think, frankly, is pretty generous, because the movies are good, not great, in my opinion. But I'm so that person on this front where it's like, no, the books are better, but like they just are. They're just so much better.
Yeah.
But I do like the movies. But
I think everyone agrees. Well, I'm sure there's always some fool who disagrees with me, but I think the vast majority of Harry Potter fans, if they've read the books and seen the movies, which not everyone has done, no shade. Well, a little shade, because they're such good books. Well, everyone agrees the books are better.
Oh, for sure. And the thing is like sometimes people see the movie before they read the books, and I feel like that can, number one, change how they feel, because they get a perception of a character in their head from the movie, so they never have this like original idea of like whatever, we were living with. But then also, I feel like if you watch the movie and you're like, nah, I'm not going to read the books, you really should, because there's so much more. Like, it's basically like the appendices. There's like a crap ton of like extra information that's just like, you can pretend it's just like fan service. It's just like extra little side stories. And I love that shit.
The world is very fleshed out, and it's somewhat done so in the movies, but the books really like broaden the experience. But I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, so let's talk about when the book was first published, and then let's hit our listeners with some fast math about how old we were when like that happened. I know I'm springing this on both of us.
I know. So I was gonna say, did you prepare these numbers, girl? Because you know,
no, girl. I'm gonna chug this glass of wine and I'm gonna calculate.
Okay, I believe in you.
So the very first book was published on June 26th, 1997 in the UK, and then later it came to the US in 1998. So let's just do 1998. So I was 10 years old.
I was too.
Yeah. So isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's insane, because I didn't read them like that minute. I was a couple years late.
What grade were we in when we were in 10? Like second or third grade? Because I was in third grade when I first read it, so I might have read it when it very first came out. But also, I thought there were 2. I thought Chamber of Secrets was already out when I read it.
Yep, I think that's when it was either Chamber of Secrets or Prisoner of Azkaban is when, actually, my older brother bought me the first one. And it was a really good gift, and he did it, man. That was a great gift.
So I just reread The Sorcerer's Stone because for this podcast, and also because it's probably been like a couple years since I've done a reread. Though I have reread Harry Potter more times than any other book in my life, just because in anticipation of the release of like a new book, you would like go back and reread,
so you could catch up.
Yeah, just to like keep it fresh. But I, upon this read for the first time ever, had like really intense nostalgia that like when I was like laying in my bed reading it, because that's usually when I read at nighttime, I could like see in the past like 20 years ago Morgan, like little baby Morgan laying in her bed reading it, because I got it at a Scholastic book fair, which is like the fucking shit. Like,
do they still do those? I hope
yes,
so.
they do. And I think they still give you the little catalogs, and you can like circle what you want and ask your mom and dad for money.
That was like my favorite thing at school.
It so was. And my librarian had suggested it because I just like was a nerd, and I was like, tell me everything I should get or whatever. And she told me that, and I circled it in my little catalog, and I brought it home, and I think it was probably like $10, and I like begged my dad for like $50, and we like negotiated down to like 17 or something. Yeah. And then I went to the book fair and I got like that. And then I also got this Tree Frog bookmark. that I still have. It's like a little plastic 3D one that like his little foot just like loops into the page. I still have it. And I bought this book called A Girl Named Disaster. I have this like very vivid memory of like my entrance into like Harry Potter fandom, and like I can't tell you the exact date, but like I know all the memories of everything that happened on that date, which is crazy.
It's so crazy that you still have all of those things, but you've lost your dignity.
Girl, it's college will do that to you. College, baby. So we were 10 years old when it came to the U.S. After it was promptly renamed to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for reasons we'll discuss in a little bit. And then the movie followed suit really not that much long later. It came out November 14th, 2001. So that's 98, 99. It's like 4 years later. It was like on the big screen, which is really fast. But I guess that's the movie industry these last couple decades. Isn't that bonkers? The Sorcerer's Stone.
Like, that's so funny. It's, our memories are so faulty, especially mine, but that is not how I remember that timeline happening.
I know, girl.
At all.
So, I remember also going to see Harry Potter at the theaters. So in 2001, there was probably like 3 Harry Potter books out. Maybe the 4th one was like coming out or something. But like 3 or 4 Harry Potter books were out. Probably 3. And I was a huge fan, like just huge fan. And for Thanksgiving, us and our cousins would like sometimes go see movies. And so for Thanksgiving that year, I guess 2001, my cousin Amanda like drove us over to like go see that movie. And our parents probably like were so thankful to not have to talk to us for a couple hours. And so like I went and saw it like the month that it came out, not like the opening night, which we did later in life, which was great fun. So much fun. So I feel like I have all these milestones in my life that are marked by like Harry Potter. So it's just like, right? Don't you feel like it's just so ingrained into your childhood? And like, there's not a comparable experience as to having a book series that like changes your life that follows you through your adolescence. It's amazing.
Because, so we were talking about like we didn't come in like on the first book. It was the second or third out. But when I read the first book, I was 11. So I was like touched by an angel, girl. Yes. I was like waiting for Hagrid. Well, I was like, okay, Hagrid probably won't come.
Oh, you were waiting for your letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still waiting.
Yeah, girl, me too.
I keep looking in places where a magical lair might appear, but I don't see nothing but herpes stores.
I saw this. There's this, like, basically magical castle adult camp getaway that you can go to in the UK. And it's like a Hogwarts getaway. And, like, you stay there and, like, you go through a sorting ceremony. And, like, they have, like, a big dining hall. And you, like, dine with your houses. Yeah. And then they have, like, activities and shit. And
see, I'm pulled. I think you can tell by my face. I'm pulled between being like, that sounds great. And being like, sounds like it smells like BO there.
I was, like, immediately like, shut up and take my money. Like, I want to be there so fast. Like, so fast.
You would fit.
I'm gonna find a link for it and I'll add it into our show notes for everyone to check out. Yeah. It's like really cool. I don't know. That's the kind of shit I want to waste my frivolous money on.
But see, I'm always like this because, like, have you ever seen someone LARPing? Have you ever LARPed yourself?
I mean, not really.
So
but
I never have. I voraciously sort of imbibe documentaries about LARPing.
Oh.
There aren't that many, but there's a fair number because it's kind of a strange hobby, And there was a LARPing club at Reed College where I went to college, and I loved watching them do their thing. But I have to tell you, my mean girl comes out while I'm watching these people, like, run around and hit each other with foam swords. And, like, there was the one guy who, like, was like a ninja, and he practiced martial arts, but he was horrible.
Aww.
I mean, he wasn't fit, and that's the thing, honey. Yeah. If you want to be a ninja, you gotta be fit. Not that I'm fit, like, especially. At all. I chain smoke. But, like, I'm just saying, like, if you want to, like, be this cool ninja guy. Anyway. And that's kind of how I feel about the Harry Potter camp. I just feel like
you feel like it's a bunch of, like, overweight LARPing-ass muggles.
Yeah! A bunch of pathetic muggles.
I want to be one of them, though.
Well, you're halfway there.
Oh, girl.
I'm on today. I'm sorry, girl.
You a muggle asshole.
Remember I dressed up as a
booger.
You the booger! I'm a Heather.
Whatever.
I hate you.
I guess you are a Heather. You have beautiful hair right now.
Thank you, baby. So do you.
I know.
Oh, Heather. Shut up, Heather.
So, anyway, the very first book was written between June of 1990 and sometime in 1995. So, like, for 5 years, she was curating and trying to get published her very first book. So, what do you think? So the first Harry Potter book is like 90 or 96,000 words. I like looked it up at some point. So it's like a pretty short book.
Yeah. And the letters are big too.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah.
But what do you think about that time frame? You think that's pretty standard for like a first book where she's like laying the groundwork and future stuff?
You know,
because it sounds like a long time, but it's a lot of work.
Well, look at it this way. Now, I do have to put this bias out there first. I've been working on my book for... It'll be 6 years in September, my first book. Mm-hmm. So of course I'm jumping to say, oh yeah, that's great. That's fabulous.
I think I've been working on mine for like 4.5.
Well, because the first book, right? You have to figure out the universe. You have to really get to know the characters. So like, especially if you're planning something that's longer, you're really doing a lot of the work that comes later. And I did read that somewhere is that she like wrote an outline of like the last chapter of the last book way back when she was writing.
Yeah, she knew how she wanted it to end.
Yeah, so like a lot of work is happening there that maybe you just don't see till
Plus,
later.
she was like a mother and like, I mean, like I try to reason like why I never have time to like work on my book is like, oh, it's because I have like a job and like I have to eat pizza on Friday nights and then like sometimes I want to get my nails painted. Your
teeth keep falling out and that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And boop, there goes one right now.
Quite
Stuff
expensive.
it back in. Stuff it back in.
So 5 years. But also I think it's fun to like put into perspective like what 5 years looks like. And we were just talking about this. You and I both have been at our jobs for like 5 years. So like that chunk of our life, we could have written a fucking book and be a billionaire.
We could write Mary Daughter, the Mary Daughter story.
The story of Mary Daughter. She's the wizard, Harry.
No. You're a failure, Mary. It's like really
just
sad.
like our novelization of you. And so after it came out, it has been translated into over 67 languages, which is pretty intense, actually.
I only know 63, so I'm super impressed.
So embarrassing. Let me hit you with some real numbers that are fucking shocking. So the box office, here's some box office figures just for the movie, which came out in 2001. It grossed $974.8 million US dollars worldwide. Okay, that's almost $1 billion for the first movie. The budget to make the movie was $125 million. They made almost $1 billion on that's insane.
That's absolutely insane.
And then the opening weekend, they made $90.3 million, which is pretty good. And then domestic box office total is $317.6 million. So in the States, they made over $300 million. And then worldwide, they made like another like $600 or $700 million. So worldwide, it is well loved, right?
Yes.
That's
and
crazy.
Deservedly so, but that's so much money.
So maybe that leaves you thinking like, how many books do you think have been sold?
Ooh, let me guess. I'm really
how
good
many
at math.
books?
So I'm going to guess. We're just doing the first book or the entire series?
Let's do the series.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so times 7, anything. I'm going to think 1.2 million.
You're going to have to do better than that, girl.
Oh, it's real bad?
Much
52
better.
million.
Much higher.
1.6 billion.
Okay, you overshot it there.
Okay,
Here
but
you
I
go.
was getting close.
Collectively, the series has sold over 500 million copies worldwide
Jesus Christ.
and is the best-selling book series of all time. Of all time.
Go, Joe! You
do it!
Joe!
Girl, yes, queen! Oh, so... Anyways, that puts some shit into perspective. Yeah, now, I personally, at every turn in life, am looking for ways to give Joe Rowling all my money. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm a part of something greater, and it is Joe Rowling's $1 billion status. Mm-hmm. Now, I love that Joe Rowling is an author. and that's her thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why she's a billionaire. Because that is so rare. Like, you would think, and people think this all the time, like, my dad is guilty of this. Like, he knows I'm working on this book, and he knows that I have really high anxiety, but instead still asks me about the book every time we talk, which makes me feel like more of a failure. But he's always saying, like, yeah, girl, get your book published and you'll never have to worry about anything. And I'm like, that happens for no one.
Yeah.
That happens for Joe Rowling, Stephen King.
Eventually.
And, like, 4 other people.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. And she does it best. Like,
Do you know
she's
how
richer than, like, any other
it is
person.
for me to, like, go on a blog or, like, open up a magazine article, and they're like, you know, Billy Ray Kutzenpunzer, the well-known
Professor
author.
Billy Ray Kutzenpunzer.
You don't want to know what he teaches,
Oh,
girl. That's a deep, dark dungeon.
Ugh.
But no, and so on. Then, like, he won the Pulitzer, and I'm like, I still don't I have never heard of this.
Never
person.
read his books?
You know,
Yeah, for sure.
Never seen his book in a bookstore.
No.
Like, yeah, that kind of fame and money, it's literally a once in a generation thing. Maybe twice.
I'm really happy
So
for
rare.
her, though.
Oh, I am too, because she
And her-
seems so lovely.
And her story, like, her ascension to, like, fame and, like, glory is, like, so well deserved. Like, probably there's not another author out there who, like, deserves it as much
No.
that I know of.
I mean, as
love
far
her.
as just, like, someone who seems humble, kind, lovable, yeah, I want her to be rich.
Yeah,
I love
and
her.
fun fact about Joe Rowling, which I have a bunch of here in just a minute, she is the only billionaire ever to lose her billionaire status for donating too much money to charity.
I read that. That's so beautiful.
So there needs to be like a couple more fucking Joe Rowlings in the world.
Yeah, because can I just tell you, all that money she gave, I didn't see a hot red nickel.
Preach!
Girl, I'm dying over here.
But if somebody were to hand you a hot red nickel, your hand would explode. You would die. You would have to
true.
get
It would
it
burn through my
amputated.
hand,
So hopefully it's your left hand.
No, that's the one I masturbate
Okay,
with.
it's your right
I'd
hand.
rather get rid of the right one. I do everything else with that one, but girl,
I bet you
quality
could
of
learn to
life.
type with just like 5 fingers. You'd be like,
Oh, yeah, and my nose like one of those birds.
oh yeah.
You know.
I believe in you, girl.
Thank you, Queen.
Okay, so of all the things that we love about Harry Potter, would you say that there's anything that you don't care for about it? And I have some feelings on this on like my 735th reread. I have noticed some things, not that I dislike about it, but like sections of book where I find myself skimming over quickly, like wanting to get through. And I know you reread this book as well. So like, what's your deal? How you feel?
Yeah, you know, so the first Harry Potter book is my second favorite, but I haven't reread it in like 6 or 7 years probably. And, well, first of all, I was very nonplussed, maybe even a little upset, that Dumbledore left Harry with the Dursleys in the first place. That's something okay, I understand for the plot why it needed to happen, right? So, like, Harry needs to, like, live a miserable life so that when life gets good, it's even more, you know, you feel your heart, like, expand for him. I also
You think that's why?
I think that's one of the reasons.
Okay.
Because I think it gives him the, like, hero's journey, where he starts real low.
Yeah,
and gets to go
I mean,
high.
yes, from the reader's perspective, makes sense.
Yeah. And then, you know, Dumbledore gives a reason, which is like, it would be worse for him to grow up knowing he's famous or whatever.
Well, then also, like, spoiler alert, if, like, you haven't read all of Harry Potter or seen the end, like, quit listening now.
Yeah.
But at the end of this series, or towards the end, we find out that, like, he had this, like, family love protection spell that he only had while he was at their house. But, like, did Dumbledore know that? Like,
Yeah.
who is feeding Dumbledore his information? Like, he is just, like, the, what is it? He's, like, the omnipotent,
Omniscient.
yeah, the, like, fucking narrator person. Like, he just instinctively knows everything.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, of course he's a badass and I love him, but, like, why did he know that? Like, it was a new thing. It wasn't like that happens to, like, every Harry, Dean, and Sally. Like,
Well,
it was special.
And my thing is, you know what? He could have put Harry with a wizarding family that's, like, way out in the boonies. Or he could have, like, kept Harry at Hogwarts and just, like, done some... The thing is, the Dursleys are abusive.
Yes, they're terrible.
Horrible.
He could have chosen any family in the Order of the Phoenix.
Yes, exactly. And, like, if he had kept Harry with him at Hogwarts and been his guardian, which is what...
Oh, that would have been really precious.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
He would have been token wizard famous kid, though.
He would have been. Yeah. I just feel like, but you know what? Dumbledore's a fucking G. He's a genius. This is not what I meant by G, but it works. And he could have figured out something else than putting Harry with these people who, like, yeah, Harry turned out well because this is fiction, but, like, if Harry was a real boy, let me tell you, he would have been traumatized and, like, probably would not have grown up to be a very nice boy.
In real life, Harry needs therapy until he dies.
Yeah!
He has
just what we see in book 1 is, like, horrible.
They literally make him live in a cupboard under the stairs with a lock on the outside.
Yeah. And he doesn't even look like an ogre like you. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Now, I see where you slipped that in there really fast.
Did you see that slip? No.
And you better shut your Dudley-ass Dursley
<gasps>
mouth up.
No, you didn't.
Some of the listeners don't know what you look like, and I'm telling them right now, you look like Dudley Dursley.
Well, you look like his friend Percy. What's his fucking
Professor Percy Rat-ass.
But anyway, okay, so that's something that, like I get it. I'm not upset, necessarily, but I do think, like, that makes me angry for Harry. Like, they could have worked out something better.
I agree, and they did treat him so poorly that, like, there's no way they didn't know that was going on, and, like, that they could have done something about it, because... in the movie, like, you get that they treat him poorly, but you get a better sense of it in the book. It's beyond that they treat him poorly. Like, they would go to prison for the way that they treat him.
They are abusive.
Yeah, they're abusive, like, verbally, physically, mentally, especially, most of all. And they make him a slave, and they give him nothing, and they... sometimes we'll just, like, not feed him and, like...
Yeah. That was...
They would go to prison.
That was really heartbreaking in the book. It's one of the feasts. Maybe the first feast. Where he's like... The Dursleys didn't starve me exactly. Well, he doesn't talk
but he never got his fill.
Yeah, but
I think that's how he phrased
full.
It. Yeah.
Which is like...
And he was so skinny.
My heart. He's a tiny little guy. He's itsy bitsy.
And then like, Dudley with his old fat ass, little porky tail.
Dudley. My goodness.
Ugh.
It's fine to be fat, but not Dudley fat.
No, he's gross. And in the book, like, that's another thing is, like, for some of the characters, they can't cast them quite as grotesque as they are written. And he's truly grotesque. Yeah. He's like that kid that you see that has, like, 4 lollipops in his pocket and, like, double fisting ice cream, and his mom is like 17 times as fat as him, and you're like, welcome to fucking America. She must have based the Dursleys on an American family. Like, yeah, they're gross.
You know, I read somewhere that, well, she may not have based them on this, but you know the 2 aunts from James and the Giant Peach? There's I don't know if you've seen that recently. She has a real thin aunt and a real, like, chubster aunt.
I feel like that's familiar? Yeah, and she based, like, the Dursley family on that?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think she's actually said that, but people often draw comparisons between her writing and Ronald Dahl's writing.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
And he does those, like, grotesque guardian types.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Okay, so that's one thing that, like, I just don't like.
Yeah,
even
they're
though
the
I
worst.
see it serves its
the
purpose,
Dursleys,
but, like,
period.
It hurts my heart to see a child treated like that. And another thing, and I read this online before I started my reread, or I'd gotten to this part, but a lot of people online say that, like, the last quarter or so of book 1 feels really rushed and, like, happens very quickly. Now, I don't completely agree with that from this reread. I do think the Norbert, the dragon sort of episode, that seemed to happen in 2 seconds to me. I thought that was really rushed. And it did move really quickly once they got past Fluffy, but, like, I liked that because, like, I was into it, girl. My heart was beating.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I had this moment where, like, I kept, like, turning the chapters and, like, expecting, I was like, when are we serving detention in the Forbidden Forest? Because I knew that it was coming, but, like, I couldn't place it in my mind, like, what did they do that was so bad to get that detention? And it was that, like, Norbert stuff. Yeah. So when that finally happened, I had a lot of anticipation about that because I had a lot of feelings about when they met the centaurs. and we just kind of get our first look into, like, them as people, and then, like, we get so much recall on that later. Like, it becomes so important.
Oh,
like,
sexy
later.
Fire-ins
oh, girl, yeah.
Oh,
and they're flying.
Eyes. Ooh!
And I was really excited to meet the centaurs. And so when that happened, also, I forgot that at the beginning, that the way that he paired them off, like, Harry went with Hermione, and then Neville went with, like, Malfoy and, like, whatever. And so for a minute I was confused. I was like, have I rewritten history in my head? And then they switched up and I was like, there it is.
Yeah, because Draco scared Neville or whatever.
Stupid dumbass.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot how dumb they made Neville. Like, I truly forgot how dumb Neville was, because he really does shape up. And of course he's always a klutz, but the last, like, couple of books he really pulls his shit together.
Well, I think in reality, Harry Potter, who grows up with the Dursleys, would be more like Neville than like Harry Potter. Like, afraid of everything. Yeah. Really low self-esteem. Like, whatever. So his grandma is maybe not the nicest guardian, but she seems to genuinely love him. Unlike the Dursleys.
Oh, right. But she's crazy, too.
She's pretty cool. She's stern. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's stern. Can we talk for a second? Look at my head bob.
Oh, he all over.
About how dangerous that detention was. They sent a couple of first years.
Here's what happens at the beginning of the year. Okay, this is so great. I have to share this meme on our Facebook page or whatever. But at the beginning of the year, there's like their speech at the Great Hall where Dumbledore's like giving instructions, and he says like, of course, the Forbidden Forest is like off limits to students, period, ever. Appendice, unless you get a detention and then it's fine.
And then we're gonna send a bunch of first years into, like, the most dangerous part.
Yes. Okay, and I want to circle back to that, but back to his speech. And then he says, like, the shit about, like, the corridor and the third floor being, like, off boundaries to anyone who doesn't want to suffer, like, impending death.
Yeah,
and then... like, pan back to the students. Ron's making this, like, whatever face. And then, like, everyone's like, okay. And Harry has this look on his face, like, he's like, what the fuck kind of skull is this? Like, nobody is perturbed by that except for Harry Potter. So, he's smart from the start. Mm-hmm. You know what's up.
He sees the danger.
You true, though. Like, how was that a detention? Like, also, who does that?
Can we just say, when Hagrid is, like, taking them in... he's like, yeah, something killed a unicorn. That's mighty, mighty, mighty dark magic, because unicorns are real hard to kill.
And he's like,
okay, all the 11-year-olds.
All the professors are too busy to, like, check it out.
Yeah. So
they're, like, getting drunk. They have, like, a staff party that night.
Yeah. Well, where the fuck are they?
Oh, no, girl.
I mean, you know, they talk about Harry Potter becoming more of, like, young adult novel, and then maybe even, like, adult fiction towards the end.
It really progresses, I feel like. I'm
think
strongly
so
in the camp that it starts with, we were the perfect age. It started with us, 10, 11 years old, and it followed us through college, and it really progressed to a level that is, like, completely acceptable.
Yeah, because when I first read this at 11, I wasn't like, what is wrong with these fucking adults? I was just like, okay, this is what's happening.
You're like, yeah, we go to the forest and find a unicorn.
Yeah, which is like, so it's a children's book, right? But now, as an adult, I'm like, these people are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, at least some of their decisions are. I'd be so mad.
You know what, too, though? Kind of in the same vein, I would definitely give this book to, like, an 11-year-old. Mm-hmm. But there's no amount of money where I'd give, like, the 5th and 6th book to an 11-year-old. Like, I wouldn't let them binge read it because there's so much, like, sadness and, like, I really think as a future parent, which is what I want to be, that, like, you have to really dole it out because, like, I feel like it's best consumed that way as, like, you age. And I feel like that's a real challenge because in the time that we live in, you want to be able to binge watch, binge listen, binge read, like, everything. So, like, I accept this challenge and I will only give my kids one book at a time, and they're gonna hate me, and they're gonna write in their journal, today I finished Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and mom's a stupid cunt and wouldn't give me the second one. And that's just how it is.
But what if they say, but mummy, I want to read the second
That's
one.
too few books last year. Exactly.
Is there anything that kind of peeved you off?
Not
that
like
we haven't mentioned?
Peeved me off, but I did find myself, I really don't like how much you can kind of hate Hermione a little bit in the beginning, because I kind of forgot about that. And when they say all those Ron mostly says all those mean things about her behind her back, and then it leads to her, like, crying in the girls' bathroom and then, like, almost being murdered by a troll. Like, it really, like, first of all got me in the feels about bullying, because, like, she didn't want nothing but to be, like, accepted, and, like, yeah, she was, like...
She was kind of a bully in her own right.
She was kind of a know-it-all, but, like... I don't know. I just felt bad for her. And then I felt like it took a really long time for her to be assimilated into their friendship group. I really remember it happening much faster. But truly, book 1 is like, Ron. It's like the Ron and Harry show featuring later in life Hermione.
Well, but wait, the troll breaks in during Halloween. So that's pretty early in the year.
But then she doesn't, like, stay for Christmas, or like it's really the, like, Ron and Harry BFF show. And then kind of later,
second semester,
kind of later, she's more a part of it, and she's such an invaluable part to their group. Like, of course, she's perfect,
obviously.
But it also reminded me that in the movies they do this kind of weird thing that the first, like, couple of movies, Ron and Harry are best friends, and then the further on the movies get, they really make Emma Watson, who plays Hermione Granger, more of Harry's best friend. And I don't know if it's because they like her better, but I don't remember the books being that way. I feel like it has always in the books been the Ron and Harry show featuring Hermione. And, like, Hermione is the invaluable glue that holds their friendship together. And at times, especially in the last book, she has sided with Harry upon necessity to keep things moving in the right direction. But that it was always Harry and Ron. It's not like that in the movies towards the end. Towards the end, Ron's kind of a dick, especially, like, when he gets with, like, Lavender Brown. And
Lord.
And he gets on the Quidditch team and everything goes to his head. And then, like, and then Hermione is his rock. Do you know what I mean?
I totally,
like, it's
no,
weird.
100%. I totally
Do you think
feel
it's just because they like her better?
Well, I think there's something to be said for a strong female role.
No,
I
get it, and she's a great role model. Of course,
yeah.
I've stated before that she's my number 2 wizard of all time. Like, I love her, but, like, it's interesting.
I think, though, as far as the whole, like, stuff that happens in the first semester and her being kind of shot down, crying in the bathroom and everything, I don't know about you, but I was a precocious 10 and 11-year-old, and I could be a real prick because I knew I was smart. I of course, there was so much I didn't know, but for an 11-year-old, I knew a lot, and I was not afraid to tell you. Like, I remember when I was like 8 or 9 years old, my older brother was taking care of me, and he told me to do something, and I was like, I don't have to do that because I'm smarter than you.
Ooh,
and
girl.
And he's like 7 years older than me, so, but anyway, that's a whole story for a different time. But, like,
and then he put you in a headlock and gave you a noogie.
I think he actually locked me outside until I cried. Yeah. I mean, girl, that's tough love.
Siblings.
Yeah. It was raining, I think.
Aww.
No, I don't know. But so I think honestly that Hermione needed that. That is something that needed, not the troll, not the almost death, but, like, she
humbling
needed someone,
in a way.
She needed someone to be like, yeah, you're smart, but, like, there's more to life than that.
Because also he literally said that's why no one likes her.
Exactly. And it hurt her.
And she probably always knew that no one liked her. But, like, what a sad thing to hear.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like it was something that had to happen for Hermione to become the amazing character that she becomes.
She is amazing. I love her.
I love her too.
She's probably, like, top 5 female role models for me in life, but also, like, for women in future. Like, I mean, she's for young girls, like, it doesn't get much better.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but have I said something different in the past? I don't know. Hermione and Professor McGonagall are, like, I think they're like my and Dumbledore maybe would tie for. I don't know. Like, she's up there for me. I
hear you, girl. Like, if Hermione and Professor McGonagall started a podcast, I would be the first subscriber.
Girl, they would have to get a restraining order on me, 'cause I would be all about
obsessed. It. And, like, hopefully it would be, like, really reminiscent of, like, 2 Dope Queens where they would be like, girl, what'd you do this weekend? And McGonagall's like, I was in Bali.
Bali again. You love Bali.
I really want to go to Bali.
Okay. I hope you get there, baby.
Also, I really want McGonagall to go to Bali.
Oh,
and,
my God.
Let her hair
Yes!
down.
Well, she's going to take off that robe. It's going to be a 2-piece and a biscuit under
And she just has, like, a 6-pack out of, like, nowhere.
Transfiguration girl. She's like, ding, 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 ding.
But she, like, does the wrong spell because she's drunk and it's, like, a 6-pack of beer. And she's like, close enough.
Feels like
And then you can, like, rip them off and drink it.
Oh, God.
This
Grotesque.
weekend is shaping up. I am there for it.
You know, speaking of how hilarious we are,
Tell me more.
Something else that I'd frankly forgotten from the first book, but I'm assuming most of the series, is that there are a bunch of punchlines and laugh lines actually made me laugh.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And that's
She's
rare for
funny.
fantasy. It's hard to write funny
It does get a little darker as a literal cloud grows over the wizarding world. But yeah, it's pretty lighthearted, mostly.
Can I just tell you, when they were at one of the innumerable Quidditch games, which I do enjoy reading about Quidditch.
I feel like it's not excessive. There's less and less Quidditch as
I was
the books go
well,
on.
when we get there, we'll talk about how bummed I was about that. But, and Malfoy is making fun of Ron because he's poor, which I, of course, don't support.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't that shit hit you so hard in the feels?
Yeah, I'm like,
and he's
girl,
not
stop making
even
fun of him.
I mean, he is, like, poor. Like, it's sad when the Weasleys go to take their money and they take all of it out of their bank. That's pretty sad. But also, the life they've built for their children, they're living a great life. And when Ron complains and Harry's like, what? This is, like, literally the best thing ever. So anyways, like, you make your life out of what you fucking have. So fucking Weasley, Team Weasley forever.
Exactly. Oh my God, love the Weasleys. But anyway, and then Harry dives and like gets the snitch or whatever, but as he's diving, Draco leans down and he's like, Weasley, you're in luck. Potter's obviously spotted some money on the ground. Girl, I laughed so hard. I had to put down the book because I was laughing.
Oh my God, are you a Draco Malfoy sympathizer?
No, but I do think he's
you
witty.
love him. You want
Tom
to
Felton.
be him?
Tom Felton is
you think
an
he's sexy?
attractive man.
I
Yes.
think Tom Felton is sexy.
As older, like in the 7th
I follow him on
movie, As Draco,
Instagram.
I thought he was very sexy.
I
don't
like
think he's that
everything.
cute on The Flash, to be honest.
Well,
I don't like that character.
it's his least attractive look, mostly because that character is, like we have mentioned before, like somewhere on the spectrum and also
Yes.
kind of a
Which
dick.
isn't necessarily unattractive,
But he's a
that whole
dick
character
because
is
of
not.
it.
Yeah, that whole character is not attractive.
But
anyway,
he-
so yeah, I laughed aloud at that moment of
Yeah.
mean girling. I thought it was really witty.
Also, do you think it's weird? Yes, he is witty. He is, sometimes, and then sometimes he's a fucking idiot.
Oh, he's horrible.
Do you think it's so weird and interesting that, like, for us, we also kind of grew up with the characters who play Harry Potter, and now Emma Watson is this, like, total babe, and, like, Tom Felton, the dude who played Neville Longbottom?
I know.
Shit, what's his name? Matthew Lewis? Oh my God.
He gives hope to everyone.
Oh
honestly.
my God. Forever, there will be the phrase, you really Neville Longbottomed.
Yep.
Which I personally feel like I did. I Neville Longbottomed.
I was going to say, I'm still waiting for you to do it. but
Oh,
okay.
I really... But
See,
I got-
but no, I'm just joking, because
what?
I've always... No, honestly, I mean, moment of sincere, I've always thought you were gorgeous.
Oh, you're
So,
sweet.
You've said that before, but I just
Yeah,
don't see
but
it.
I personally feel like I have Neville Longbottom, which, like, it's good to feel like you think that, like, you're attractive and, like, accept it. And maybe it just took me a long time to accept that. So, like, maybe that's just where I am now. But,
Probably
like,
me in your ear the entire time. You ugly bitch.
you all fuggly sluts. But, like, Matthew Lewis, for real,
Yeah.
like, that person can seriously say, like, here's a picture of me then, and here's me without clothes on now.
Yeah.
And, like, download save as my screensaver, like, put it as my cell phone background. Also, like, don't let my husband look at
Right,
it.
go till your hand cramps.
OMG. Like, he is, like, so fly. And, I read this really sweet story when I was, like, stalking him or whatever. And, like, he, it was kind of like a notorious bachelor. And he recently, like, last year or the year before, at, like, a Wizarding World of Harry Potter event in Orlando, was there supporting because he's one of those people who like always kind of shows up to like be like, what up, I'm Neville Longbottom.
So cute.
He met like their director of marketing at the event and they like insta fell in love. And so now, oh, maybe they're broken up. I should have Googled this, but they possibly are still together and got like engaged like immediately and like had like insta like love fest and like what? Who is this bitch and why is she living my life? Because that is like an unreal fairy tale of like, girl, you are
I've heard that
married to hot Neville Longbottom.
You can legit cut off someone's skin and wear it and become them.
You think I should do that for her?
I support it.
I don't know what her name is, but she is just an old fugly muggle, so I might as well go steal her life. No, just kidding. She's gorgeous. She's not.
I was like, really?
No,
is
she's
ugly?
Gorgeous.
Oh, okay.
But like, congratulations.
Yeah,
if you're listening, baby, every woman's dream. Just so proud of her.
Is to cut off your skin and wear it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're evil. What next?
Okay, no, but you know what I mean, though? And
yeah.
Tom Felton has really shaped up. Some people want to fuck Daniel Radcliffe. Not myself, but other people are into that.
I was pleased to see his dingaling.
Wasn't tiny.
No, it was, I mean, it was, look, I see a lot of dicks. Okay,
I will say.
But it was fun.
I did feel, this is like legit confession corner.
Oh,
I
okay.
felt like legit creepy to Google, like, Daniel Radcliffe naked and Equus. But like,
Why?
I don't know, because like.
He grown?
Yeah, he is, but like, other people are judging me probably right now as I'm speaking, but like, if you did not Google Daniel Radcliffe naked and Equus, I don't know what you were doing with your life in college, because that's all I was Googling.
Tell you something. I don't care who judges me. I Googled that shit. I Yahoo'd that shit. I saved that shit. I might have done.
You got off by your Firefox?
I was all up in Firefox, and I have no shame about that. I have no shame. That is a famous man's dick. I want to see it.
Okay, that's fair. But also, like, he signed off on his dick being seen by joining in the cast. So I felt like okay about it there. And you know what? You're right. You're right. I'm taking it back.
Yeah, don't
I Googled Daniel Radcliffe's dick, and I was not unhappy. And I think he was uncircumcised. Am I right? I think he was uncircumcised.
I think he was, what I remember, he's like yes, he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe like a half. You know how some people, they're uncircumcised, but a little bit of dickhead still peeks out? That's what I remember.
Yeah.
One of my exes was
well,
like
you just like pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, you just pull back foreskin.
Yeah.
But like, it's not, some people have like a foreskin that like completely covers the dick.
Oh, sure.
There's like some left over you could store like jelly beans in.
But he, I think is probably, like, he's less of a grower and more of a shower.
I think so, because there was
a lot to see in the picture, which is why he agreed, I think, to be in a naked production.
I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah.
It was working. It was working.
I'm kind of with you, though, in that you were like, some people find him really, I don't actually find him
I don't
sexy.
like want to fuck him or anything, but like.
But I do want to see his dick.
But yeah, I did want to see that immediately. That was the first thing I did was Google that. But, but I think that Emma Watson was always a beautiful person, but has grown up to be this like total babe heartthrob that everyone's obsessed with. She's gorgeous. Matthew Lewis, Tom Felton, some of those other rando people, like every now and then there's like a BuzzFeed list of like, where are they now? HP characters. I'm personally a huge fan of and follow Bonnie Wright, who played Ginny Weasley, and Ivana Lynch, who played Luna Lovegood. They're both really, really big into indie films and like, Ivana Lynch is like a big vegan, which is like, for me kind of whatever, but like she's very active in that and like spends a lot of money to make that possible for people and also supports like really good causes like shit like Heifer International and like which is like an Arkansas thing. Yeah. And she supports like sustainable farms and like she's just a good person. And Bonnie Wright spends her time like making documentaries about people in Africa and like supporting like low income cultures and like they're just like genuinely good people who got a good opportunity that maybe don't want to be the movie stars of all time, but who are using their fame to their advantage to do good things. And so, like, I love and respect and also admire and lust over so many of the Harry Potter cast, and it's just been a very long journey.
Mm-hmm.
It has been. Okay, do you want to know some things about Jo Rowling, the creatress and goddess of the empire that is Harry Potter?
I mean, I pretty much know everything. Try and, surprise me.
That is so fetch. I'm sorry.
Trying to make fetch happen.
I just want to do so much foreshadowing for our next episode because we love Mean Girls.
Oh, that's true. I keep thinking that's true. Secret surprise.
Okay. So, Mickey, did you know that Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was rejected from 12 publishers before J.K. Rowling found someone willing to publish it?
Yes, I did.
Does that make you feel better about yourself, though? In your future? That should make every person who has a fear of rejection, which is every person, especially any creative person trying to put themselves out there, feel better, girl. J.K. Rowling got rejected 12 times, and now she's a fucking billionaire.
These poor damn fools. How much do they hate their lives?
People are losing jobs and being fired over that terrible choice.
No
for
doubt.
Sure. Okay, and so she did finally settle with Bloomsbury, and when Bloomsbury published it, they had advised her against using her real name because they thought that a male author would sell better, which is the sexist world that we live in. Mm-hmm. And so she decided to get away from Jo Rowling, and she settled on her initial, JK, which I think stands for Joanna Kathleen or something. So that's pretty interesting, and I guess I get it. I don't know. Do you find yourself leaning towards male or female authors, or you're just so indifferent? I feel like most of the authors I read happen to be male, but that also, I don't know. Actually, for me, it's probably 50-50 because my favorite authors are mostly women.
So I'm pulling together a blog post right now, which will be a past post by the time people hear this. It's about my top 5 favorite queer reads, queer books. And I realized when I was pulling it together that all of them are white men. So, but I think as far as queer reads, I think it's slightly different because as a gay man, I'm looking for works by other gay men. And
Neil, gay men, Neil.
Yeah. Exactly. I think, look, here's the thing. I have never in my life put down a book because it was by a woman.
Never.
And why
in
would
his
I?
Life.
Never in my life.
But he doesn't like women.
Not sexually.
Not for sex and stuff.
So no, but you know what? The truth is, I think it is a sad truth.
There's just more men.
And there probably are, especially young boys or fathers of young boys who would not buy a book by a woman for their child.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's disgusting, but that's the same as S.E. Hinton, who wrote The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Same. Of course, that was years before, but
still same sentiment.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Exact same thing. I think it's bullshit, but
so
whatever.
That's a sad truth, which may have aided in the next thing I'm going to say. J.K. Rowling was also extremely depressed when she was writing Harry Potter. And you see that, I didn't write this down, but I read that you can see that in a lot of facets of her work, especially in the Dementors, which are adapted from other fantastical, there's a lot of other similar things in fantasy, but the feeling that you get from the Dementors of all the joy being sucked out of your life, she took that directly from her feelings of depression.
And it's so funny because I thought she had met you at some point.
Oh, well, not yet. But JK, I'm here, baby. Come on the podcast.
We love you, baby.
We love you.
No, I'd read that too. And that makes sense. I mean, she captures the feeling of depression creeping down upon you.
And another reason she may have been depressed as she was on welfare when she was writing the first Harry Potter book. Which is crazy. To think, she's literally a rags to riches story.
She wrote I'm sorry if this is your next point. She wrote some bits of the first book on cafe napkins.
Yeah, she did. She also like has done really good things with her money and her fame, and she's really well known for like going out of her way to be kind to her fans. For example, she named a witch Natalie MacDonald in the sorting ceremony from book number 4 to honor a fan who had died from leukemia. Oh. So Natalie's I guess Mother had written in and said, like, you know, she really wanted to know what happened in the story. And, like, I think they had, like, an arrangement or whatever. And then to honor her, like, after she passed, like, she named a character after her, which is so sweet.
That's really sad. Well, she's immortal now.
Yeah. A fun fact about J.K. Rowling is shoes are her weakness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shoes.
She loves those heels. Heels.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, now I know what to buy her for Christmas when I go over there.
Yeah, and you guys can talk about another thing that you guys have in common. She is estranged from her father.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
I read this anecdote that, like, she didn't have a very good childhood anyways, but then when she grew up and she became famous and she read Harry Potter, she, I think, gave her father all first editions of the books signed, and then she went to his house or something. I don't know. I think they always had a strained relationship, but she was, like, still trying to make it work, and she went to his house, like, at some point, and he had sold all of them for, like, money because he could get a lot of money for them, and she was just like, you know what? We're done here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, girl, I hear you. Because I think that on top of all the other shitty things that he must have done. So
that's horrible. Poor JK.
Yeah, so be nice to your kids and, like, don't be a prick. Her mother died before ever knowing about Harry Potter, which is sad because she died thinking that JK's life was kind of, like, sad and meaningless. Which was one of her life regrets. And it's also another thing that shaped the storyline because, as you know, Harry was an orphan and she felt like an orphan. Mm-hmm. And so she put a lot of, like, her own sadness about that into their relationship or lack thereof. She often cried when she would kill off beloved characters, most notably with Sirius and Remus. She was very, very distraught to kill them off. And I feel
was distraught too.
Yeah, girl. It was really hard. I remember, like, reading when Sirius died, thinking, like, no. Just,
by
like,
the
in
way,
a couple
spoiler,
of pages.
Sirius dies.
Yeah, sorry, Belle. But, like, did you feel that way too? Like, that you didn't accept it immediately?
I knew, quote unquote, that he was going to come back. I was like, there's no way he's dead because he was so important to Harry. And I was like, she will not do this to him. Take away his foster father. And she sure enough did.
It must, I can imagine how hard it must have been for her, really. Mm-hmm. And then with Remus, I personally have a really big attachment to Remus, and, like, I always, like, loved him super hard, and in the books, he's just, like, the most fabulous, great influence to ever happen to Harry, I feel like.
You know, he's always the character that I get when I take the quizzes.
Oh,
Which
really?
character are you? Yeah, but I'm not that much of a fan of him, so I'm not.
I love him, and when he died,
for me.
I felt like he would be proud to have died for, like, the reason and the way that he died. But then also, like, they had that baby, and his wife Tonks also died. So many spoilers, sorry. But, and then, like, and so then they had this little orphan, little Teddy, or whatever.
Teddy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it really got me. Oh. Okay. Another fun fact you maybe have heard, she shares Harry Potter's birthday, July 31st. Mm-hmm. Right? What you know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Her parents first met at King's Cross Station, which is why she chose to have a very pivotal moment happen pretty much every book. You know, super when they get on platform 9 3/4. Mm-hmm. So it's a familiar place for her. Oh, Hagrid is based on he's based on me. And I only drink single malt whiskey.
Whoa. Mixed with chicken blood.
He's actually based on a Hell's Angel biker that she once met, which I think is interesting and probably kind of scary.
I don't know, Hell's Angels, they seem very scary, but they also do things like, picket the, what's that hateful church?
Westboro Baptist
fuckers. Yes, hate those people. Yeah, if you're listening, worst. Please don't listen.
Never
this
listen.
Podcast is not for you. They're not listening.
Don't come on the podcast.
No, you're not.
Drive to a cliff and promptly continue.
Yes, except for maybe one of the children that's left, because I would definitely talk to them.
With the people who can be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but not Shirley. Shirley, you evil, baby.
You dead. You're done!
You're back!
Hermione is based on a very precocious 11-year-old J.K. Rowling.
Aww.
So she sees a lot of herself in Hermione. How did you say Hermione before you knew how to say Hermione?
Hermione?
Same.
Something like that. It's hard
I said
to say
Hermione.
now. Something.
Sure.
It was horrible.
And I remember being like, that's a number one terrible name. And like number two, why? Why is that her name?
Like which one?
And still also, are there real people named Hermione? And is it because of Harry Potter or is it like for some other reason?
There's a mythical character named Hermione. I don't know if that's how it's said.
Okay.
But, she, wife of a king, maybe had a magic belt. I don't remember exactly. But there is a character. She does exist.
Well, now I feel sheepish.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. J.K. Rowling, Jo, if you will. She studied French classics at the University of Exeter.
Ooh, she's so fancy.
Yeah, so she's pretty well educated.
Can you hear me opening this candy? I was sneakily opening it under the table.
No, you weren't, girl. You were not.
I think those glasses of wine hit us, girl.
I think they did. Okay. She wrote these like side books. I don't know if you own them. I do. They're called, she wrote Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which has spawned a whole new series, which has not been a book before. She's writing like just from scratch. She wrote Fantastic Beasts and then she wrote Quidditch Through the Ages.
I have them both.
Yeah. So she did that as a fundraiser, and all of the money, all the proceeds from the book went to Comic Relief, which is a UK charity, and she earned them over £17 million.
Jesus. Can I just tell you,
That's
I
incredible.
forgot the name Comic Relief, and what I thought in place of it was Sir Laughs a Lot.
Is that like Sir Mix-a-Lot? But like if he went to like a comedy
English,
festival.
And he's like funny.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
But he's like super British and he's like, what's with fish and chips?
I mean, why do we call them chips?
What? Cheerio.
It's a winner.
Are we going to try to do a series of accents that are going to fail? Because that is where we are heading.
It's a train wreck.
Okay, so that's a fuck ton of money, and, like, kudos to her, and that's incredible. Once again, she's amazing. Like, I just love her for that. Another little thing I had to add in as my last JK fact is that she is a Jane Austen fan, and Emma is one of her favorite books ever. And I felt, like, slightly vindicated, because I'm a huge Jane Austen fan, and, like, true, I hear when people are like, it's just kind of boring, or, like, it's not my thing. That is totally fair. If you try to read a Jane Austen novel, first of all, I'm going to recommend Pride and Prejudice. Just don't bother starting with something else. Like, that's a good starter book. And if you don't like Pride and Prejudice, you will definitely not like any of the other books, because that's the best one. But you try to read it, not your thing, cool. You never read a Jane Austen book, and you try to step up in my house?
Uh-oh.
And you tell a motherfucker,
No, she didn't.
Jane Austen sucks? I'm gonna kill a bitch.
Girl.
It's
not worth it.
Am gonna kill a bitch.
You
It's
would
like,
be jail for like 17 years minimum.
yes, girl.
You would do well in prison, but you might rethink.
It's just like, it's like when someone tries to say they don't like Harry Potter, but they never did read it. You ain't got no facts to base it on. You just assume you not like it.
Girl, I've got some people for you coming up.
Oh, girl. You send them my way. Send them my email, and I will take them down.
I will tell them that your address is 7...
No. You some shady motherfuckers. So, those are just a few facts about the Queen, Jo Rowling. And, I'm there for it. I'm all behind her. I'm in 100%. All in.
So, not only do I love her, but I love the world that she has created, and I have spent hours and hours, like, imagining that I could have just tiny, like, facets of this world.
Yeah, like you said, we're still waiting for our letter.
I'm still waiting. I'm still checking.
I wonder if you sign up for that really expensive, like, British Castle Harry Potter, if they send you a letter. Girl, it is worth it. Take my money.
And maybe instead of like a normal postman, like a man with gigantism knocks on your door and
That's
like,
fine.
hands you the letter.
That checks out.
I'm very into it.
I'm not scared.
So I pulled together, Morgie, a top 10 list of the most covetable magic items in book 1.
Okay,
Just in
great.
book 1.
I'm so excited to be a part of this. Tell me more.
You being fake with me, bitch.
No, I am.
It felt fake. Get out.
No, but I have... No, girl.
You want to live... You're drunk is what you are.
Okay,
I love drunk Morgan.
In the vein of truth, yes, I did have cereal glasses.
Yes, I love it. I love drunk Morgan. You're one of my favorite Morgans.
Am I your top 10 favorite Morgans, right behind like abusive Morgan?
Hateful Morgan. I really like, let's see.
What about laugh till she pees her pants, Morgan?
I like
she's
that
a
Morgan.
real person.
Yeah, I like that Morgan. Yeah. I like party at someone else's house, Morgan.
Oh, girl.
Not that you're good at parties
but
at your house.
But you know I clean too much.
Well, you're a very good hostess, but when you're at someone else's house, you have a lot of overlap with drunk Morgan
Loosey loose.
Mm-hmm. I like sit in front of the TV and watch fantasy all day, Morgan.
I have a lot of feelings. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, somebody told me recently that I have a lot of feelings is the alternate title for our podcast.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. We do have
so
lots
Beauty
of
and the Bitch Calling, I have a lot of feelings.
I have a lot of feelings. When you said colon, I was like, I don't want poop to be part of our title.
Girl.
That's the first thing I thought of. Mm-mm. That's sad. I'm an old man. Okay. Top 10 most covetable magic items. Number 10. The putter outer.
Oh, yeah. And it comes back later for a recall. Love
it. Exactly. I just feel like that sounds like it looks really cool. And I feel like it wouldn't be horribly useful or like wonderfully useful.
Excuse me. Chocolate.
You're the worst. These are really good with the blueberry. Mm-hmm. Oh. I know, right? I didn't know what I was doing. I feel like it wouldn't be horribly useful, but one place in which it would be useful is when I'm in bed and I'm all warm and all cozy.
Yes, queen.
And then I realize I left on
that is the
a light somewhere.
Oh, man.
I literally curse.
You have like an obstacle to get around.
Yeah, there's a lot to get through in here. Mm-hmm. And, life is short. So I would just click my putter outer in that case.
Obviously.
Number 9. Dumbledore's watch, which has no numbers, but has 12 hands and little planets moving around the edge. Now, Morgie, would you want this watch or not?
Girl, it's hard enough for me to read a regular watch. I feel like if I wore it, it would be out of pure vanity for look at my cool watch.
It sounds beautiful, and that's why it's number 9, like not super high up there, because I was like, girl, but what does it do? I don't know. Also, how many planets? Does it have all the planets? I don't know.
Did you say it has like 12?
Maybe. It has 12 hands.
Oh, maybe also in the wizarding world, they know more about like astronomy and astrology than we do.
That makes sense. So, and it would be important, right? Like, Mars
it's especially
is
important
for
the centaurs and shit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, okay, so Dumbledore's watch, number 9. Number 8, it's kind of a large one, but specifically chocolate frog cards, but generally moving pictures.
Yes.
Girl, I have to tell you, I was thinking about this when I was putting this list together, and I was like, if my picture of my grandma could, like, move and, like, I don't know,
have,
blow me
like,
kisses or something.
And stuff.
Yeah, like, I would love that.
No, I love it.
I almost bumped this up way higher just for personally, like, sentimental reasons. Yeah. Because I would
it's
fucking
really
adore
cool.
That.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So I'd be really into I wish that existed.
Yeah.
Of course, we do kind of have that. We have, like, video. But, like, video's still recorded. It doesn't change. Whereas the pictures, they're like little bits of the person.
And it's nice that they can go off and, like I think Ron says, like, when Harry's like, Dumbledore's gone from this chocolate frog card. Ron's like, well, duh, you didn't expect him to just, like, sit around all day.
Right?
Like, he gets to go, like, do stuff. Yeah. And I love that.
Like, I could put, like, picture of my grandpa and grandpa together. Grandpa and grandpa.
Grandpa, coming this fall on ABC Family.
They're so open-minded. Of my grandma and my grandpa together, and then they could, like, go to each other's little, like, photos, and, I feel touched by an angel. Yeah. Della Reese. Okay, number 7. A remembrall. Now,
you did like that. I felt like that was kind of useless.
Well, here's my thing. I put it
Neville
on.
did not use it well.
No, well, okay, I put it on because it's important.
It's cool.
But, like, I'm with you, girl. Like, okay, tell me I forgot something. I don't need a fucking glowy ball to tell me I forgot something.
Yeah.
Like, I know I've always forgotten something.
You feel it.
Yeah, I've forgotten something at any moment of the day, you know? So I was like, this is kind of a useless one. And I would be kind of pissed if my grand sent it to me, but whatever.
Also, it's like a super passive-aggressive thing for his grand to send him. Like, of
100%.
Course you forgot something.
Exactly.
Neville.
Might as well
What
just
a
paint that
bitch.
shit red. Yeah,
God.
she's a little harsh.
Hot tea?
Hot, hot pie? Hot pie?
I forgot about hot pie!
I know, how could you?
I don't know, and now I really want a chicken pot pie, so we're gonna talk about that later.
That does sound good. Number 6, I put the sorting hat as a magical item.
Yeah.
The reason, so here's the thing though. The sorting hat seems very smart, but is it only smart about houses? Does it ever come back and give him other knowledge?
Later,
I remembered
it gives
doing
like
so.
pertinent advice on like the situations at hand.
But
we go for many books without seeing the sorting hat again because Harry keeps missing the sorting ceremony. So I think we just don't get to hear him a lot. But I think his whole shtick is that he gives advice and commentary on what's happening in life right now.
Oh, see, I need that.
Yeah.
Because I've only got assholes like you in my ear giving me all kinds of horrible advice.
That's terrible.
I know. I'm lost.
What does he do in between all that time, right? Like, he sits on, like, a like, podium in Dumbledore's office or something, but, like, do they chat? Are they, like, hanging out? Does Dumbledore take him to the bar? Like, what's he doing?
Maybe that's where old Didor gets some of his information.
You did not just call him Didor.
I did. I'm trying out a new thing. Didor?
Oh. You just like slip that in. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna ruminate on that.
Yeah, maybe it'll happen.
We'll see.
Maybe it'll happen. Didor's fetch. Okay, so the sorting hat, I thought, if it can give me information otherwise, useful. But if it just tells me which house I'm going to be in over and over, maybe less covetable.
That's kind of like a powerful thing, though. Like, it sees into, like, your soul. Like, it knows where you belong, even when you don't want to belong there. Because Harry could have did fine in Slytherin.
He could have, yeah.
But I'm glad he's a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, whatever. But still.
So you would want a sorting hat, then? Like, you would take it. Okay. I think it would really, like, match your style.
Yeah, real rugged and attractive. You know, like...
You pronounced raggedy wrong, but that's okay.
It is a raggedy-ass hat.
It's a bit raggedy.
You know that in the books, a thing that they kind of don't do in the movies, except, like, maybe McGonagall, they wear, like, witches' hats. Like, a part of their wardrobe is, like, a pointy witch hat. So he's not so out of place in the book. But in the movie, like, maybe McGonagall wears a witch hat, but, like, nobody does.
Yeah, like, hardly. Yeah, like, no one else.
Harry certainly doesn't. Which I get, because that's, like...
They're kind of ridiculous looking. But McGonagall rocks it, though.
Oh, everything.
So, number 5, most covetable items. I just put down broomsticks in general.
Hell yes.
Girl, now, even if it's a clean sweep, 2040 or whatever the fuck it is, I would be so happy.
And we're not very sporty, but I would be all up on that broomstick.
And I feel like it would, I don't feel like it would be that difficult. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems kind of easy to do.
Side note, if you were a Spice Girl, you obviously wouldn't be sporty. Who would you be? Scary. Oh, sorry. What? I thought we were going to say it at the same time. You would be... No,
you threw me off because I really like sporty. Why wouldn't it be sporty?
Because you're not sporty, but that's you know what? You just think, because maybe she's kind of the lesbian Spice Girl.
Yeah, that's why. It was
I
just
think you would
queerness.
Be posh Spice, actually.
Oh my god, what a huge compliment.
Because, like, the most thing I can say about you, as far as present giving, is, like, you just want opulent, unnecessary things.
I do love
Yeah, like, that's every present for you. Yeah, and unnecessary. Yeah. So you're posh Spice. I always identify with Baby Spice. Okay. Because she's, like, kind of dumb, but also she likes to wear platform shoes.
I kind of think you would be cardamom.
Which is a delicious, flavorful spice.
She's that pregnant Asian lady in the movie.
Oh my god. That's some fucking shade.
No, you're totally.
If you won't take it back, I'll make you ginger spice.
You be baby. All right. You be baby.
Continue.
She thought we were both going to sing together. Girl, I love that. That tickled me. Number 4. You're going to have to help me say this, Morgie. The Mirror of...
Arist.
I've always said, like, Irised in my head. I had no idea that it was
We're just going to canon whatever Hogwarts shit people think it is. It's Arist. And if you need to go into Wikipedia and change the pronunciation, feel free to do that. That's what it is.
Make it happen.
Yeah. Because, what does it spell backwards, Mickey?
Herpes.
Yes. No, but we did get some real truth on herpes earlier outside of
minds.
podcast time.
It's desire.
It is desire backwards. And also you will never get rid of herpes, which was brand new information. So anyways, continue.
No one knew that. No one knew that before that.
I was shocked.
So I kind of wanted this because one, it sounds, we just talked about how I love opulence and it's like a floor
so
to ceiling mirror and like gorgeous and everything. But also, I really don't know what I would see in the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I actually, and I would be interested to look into it. You know, like, I don't understand. So that would be my number 4. Number 3, I think everyone agrees on this. Invisibility cloak. Have to have. Have to have.
The biggest recall of, like, all things probably from the first book that are magical items, but, like, also fucking baller. Like, who wouldn't use that to achieve all of your mischief ever needed? It's
even
so
the way
cool.
it's described, like it flows like water, and it's like lighter and softer than silk, and it's like silk. It just sounds so gorgeous.
Yeah, and I love that when Harry loses it, he leaves it at the top of the astronomy tower.
That was very foolish.
That like Dumbledore secretly returns it to him. I love that.
Yeah, Dumbledore told him to take care of it, and he
failed like most things. Yeah,
failure. Number 2, I had to put this in, a wand. Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, because
who doesn't want a wand?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a wand.
Well, and in the Harry Potter verse, you need your wand to cast spells.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Which,
there's a couple of people who can cast silent spells, but I think they still need their wands. Which is different from like other magical universes.
I was shocked though. This reminds me. I'm sorry, I've still got number 1 left to go, but I was shocked because at one point, when they go to one of the games, I think it's the Quidditch game where Malfoy makes the joke about Harry seeing money on the ground that made me laugh so hard. But Neville is quote-unquote shocked because Ron and Hermione brought their wands to the Quidditch game.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, girl, wouldn't you bring your wand everywhere?
I
like, absolutely everywhere. It's like underwear for me. Yeah, unless I am in a place where I'd feel comfortable being absolutely naked, I would not leave my wand.
You know, though, I do have real questions about, like, where do you keep your wand?
Up your butt.
I love how you had such a quick
I was
answer.
so prepared. Yeah.
But, like, no, but really, like, is it, like, a situation where you have, like, a really cool, like, wand holder, like a cell phone holder that you wear around your waist, or that's like really old school, like maybe your grandpa does that? Yeah. But like, do they make special like witch purses with like a special wand insert? And like, what do boys do? Do they magic their pockets to fit the whole fucking thing inside?
Yeah, that's true, because wands are like 11 to 14 inches long, right?
Queen?
That's bigger than a pocket.
What do you do? We need these questions.
Which one?
Answered.
We do.
Really
JK?
do.
JK.
JoJo?
Get back at me.
Yeah, she's JoJo, to her closest friends.
Oh, is she? Okay.
JoJo!
And number 1, the number 1 most covetable magic item from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is a self-stirring cauldron.
What?
No, it's the Philosopher's Stone. They do talk a lot about self-stirring. It comes up 3 times. I know. I planned that one out too.
I was like, you don't even like potions class.
No, girl.
Assuming in the world.
Self-stirring cauldron, please. Girl. What the hell am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
It comes up 3 times in the book, though.
Obviously, the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. Would you be more excited about the immortality or the wealth? You have both, but which one are you like more excited about?
Well, I really like the way that Dumbledore puts it when at the end Harry's so shocked that Nicholas Flamel has agreed to die, because actually I just heard recently on like a podcast, like a science podcast, they were talking about the perception of time. And for Harry, he's so young because when you're it's just so interesting because when you're younger, the years seem so much longer, but the older you get, the years seem so much shorter, but also, like, your perception of time is just, like, different. And so the way you spend your time kind of matters more, but then, like, the more time you have, the less shit matters. Anyways, so like...
Bit of a paradox.
Yeah, it is. And the way the podcast I was listening to broke it down is they said that the way that you can see... Because the question was like, at what point are you actually... do you consider your time as like halfway, like middle age? And it obviously depends on how long you live. But also your perception of time is affected by how many years you've lived. So when you're 1 year old, a whole year is 100% of your life. And so it feels like forever.
Sure.
Because it's your whole life. But when you're 100, 1 year of your life is only 1/100th of your life. So it feels like a nanosecond. So like, time is just such a weird thing. So I, to cut this short, I want the money. Assuming that I already live a long, fulfilling life to like 70 or 90. You know, somewhere therein.
You're all about the money.
I want the money. But also, if I'm a wizard, does money even matter?
That's a good question.
Because I don't know.
I mean,
then maybe I want the time.
Like, if you're like the Malfoys and you care about bragging rights or whatever, I suppose it does. But it seems like the Weasleys don't go hungry.
That's true. I want it for like travel. But if I'm a wizard and I can go wherever I want, maybe I don't care. Yeah. So I guess it's circumstantial.
Yeah.
What do you feel? What's your deal?
Well.
But if I'm a human, I want the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're a muggle.
Yeah.
Which you are.
Yeah. Which,
shade.
Whatever.
You know what? I would want the immortality. Of course we do get both, but it's not that I'm afraid of death necessarily more than anyone is, but I just feel like there's so much to see. So much to read. Let's just talk about books.
Yeah, there's a lot of good you could do with your time, especially for your hobbies and like reading.
Like I could live for 6,000 years, and assuming people keep writing books, and never fucking catch up.
And I get that.
And read everyone.
But also, like, you're notoriously kind of a hermit, so like, I think you would also be okay spending lots of time alone, like swaths of decades or something.
Probably,
but like for me, I'm such a social person that like, I feel like every death of a person that I love would be like so painful. Coupled with like loneliness, like for me, it would probably not be the right choice.
I totally get that.
But I would like, if I could, just like extend it for like a little while.
A
little something.
Well, you know what? I was going to murder you after the podcast tonight.
Oh my god!
But based on what I know now, I'm going to let you live. I'm going to let you live. A little bit longer.
Oh my god!
How could you say that?
Ugh.
Okay, so that's it. Top 10 most comfortable items.
Okay, so I did have a couple stray observations, and then I wanted to hit you with a couple just other facts about the Harry Potter series in general.
Okay.
But, listen, can we just real talk for a second?
Sure.
Do you think Harry Potter peaked in high school? Did he or did he not?
I mean, yeah.
He fucking peaked!
He definitely had to have.
And, like, that must be so hard for him because, like, Hermione definitely went on to do bigger, better things. Ron probably just, like, he leveled out at year one and he kind of never changed.
He didn't really,
But, like, people all around, Ginny Weasley went on to, like, play professional Quidditch and, like, do some other stuff, be a mother, and, like, yeah, I'm sure he did a couple things, but, like, he's always gonna be looking back.
Yeah. Like, in Harry Potter, was it, The Cursed Child?
Did you read it?
I did. And we're probably gonna end up doing a whole episode on that.
I think so.
Not too much there, but like, from what I can see of his adult life, yeah.
He kind of fucking it up.
But to be fair, like, how can you get bigger than destroying Voldemort?
I guess you can't, so it's not really his fault.
Fair, but, yeah.
But just to be clear, he peaked in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like someone else I know. God, she peaked so long ago.
If anyone peaked in high school, it was you. I don't know. I don't have anything witty to say.
Neither of us peaked in high school.
That's true. Girl, that's so true.
Yeah, we were
Thank
not
God.
peaking. Yeah, hallelujah.
Why couldn't Harry find a spell to relinquish him from the prison that was wearing glasses?
I've never even
Because he's always
that.
like, he needs a spell to, like, repel water, or fix his broken glasses, or, like, some other shit he broke. Why he can't just fix the need for glasses? He didn't call Madame Pomfrey?
Right?
Ask that hoe?
Right?
I don't want to wear glasses. She probably knows a spell.
Or, barring that, he's real rich. He's got lots of galleons and things.
He couldn't
get some LASIK.
Girl. No shit.
I guess he doesn't mind it, but yeah.
Also, this didn't, super bother me, but, is there not some way that Harry could just, speak with a goblin and transfer, some of his money to the Weasley family? If he has so much of it and he embarrassingly just, grabs a bunch of money before they can look at it, could he not just, ask the goblins to give the Weasley some? I bet he could. Mm-hmm. But whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe they wouldn't want charity, though.
They wouldn't. That's why he couldn't tell them. He'd have to just have it happen.
Just to be a secret thing.
Okay, last thing. This is for later in the series, but I just feel the need to get it out here now. Why did Harry not drink liquid luck and then just go kill Voldemort? Why the runaround?
What? Well, you're right. See, liquid luck to me is kind of like Adderall or one of those uppers. Or when I first heard about it, I was entranced.
You were like, it's magic.
Yeah, and I was all about it. But the thing is, you use it once, it's great. Use it twice, still pretty great. 3 times, it's good. 4 times, no effect. So I've been on a journey with liquid luck. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of plot holes like that. In a world of magic, like Rowling has made, it just seems like there are easier ways to do everything. It's like fly, you fools. It's very much that.
Eagles!
Yeah. Contact the Eagles. I'm dead.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now. It's official. I have breast cancer. Breast cancer isn't funny. That's a quote. Just saying.
Breast cancer is not funny.
No,
that is a truth.
Funny. That's a quote.
Okay. Yes, so many unanswered questions, but let's answer a few. Just a couple of things about the Harry Potter series that I pulled, that we can just kind of talk about. The idea for Harry Potter came to J.K. Rowling when her train was delayed for 4 hours, and the long wait gave her the right amount of time to develop the idea. Wizard school. So that's an interesting thing, that it only took her 4 hours to come up with the idea and 5 years to bring it to fruition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me ask you, the last time you were delayed 4 hours while traveling, how'd you spend that 4 hours?
Girl, I was probably on Instagram, and I probably actually read a lot, because I like to do that at the airport.
I probably, went to the McDonald's, because I was like, I'm stressed, I'm going to treat myself.
Yes, queen, I got some fries.
And then my tum-tum hurt, so I maybe spent some time in a bathroom stall.
And then I probably was really anxious, because I don't do well with, derailed plans,
yeah, me neither. I probably cursed a bit. Short answer is I didn't come up with the idea that will make me literally millions of dollars.
Yeah, so, think about that next time you're, wasting life away. Not, you specific, but, you plural audience. Yeah. Everybody.
Get off your asses.
Okay, so we're all familiar with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, but some alternative title choices JK came up with were Harry Potter and the Death Eaters, which... lame. Mm-hmm. Harry Potter and the Fire Goblet. No, girl.
What kind of goblet is that? It's the Fire Goblet.
And Harry Potter and the Three Champions. So I really think she settled on a good choice between those.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind the Three Champions one.
I guess.
It's not great.
It's also not true, because there were 4 champions. But maybe that was the misnomer. Oh, you true. Okay. To try to ensure consistency within the books and keep track of characters, spells, and all those fucking things, Bloomsbury had to create an in-house file known as the Harry Potter Bible, which I would love to get my hands on. They need to publish that, because also, once again, shut up and take my money. In an attempt to keep Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows a secret, which is the final book, early proofs were titled Edinburgh Potmakers, because they didn't want people stealing copies of the script from, the publishing house.
That's smart.
Yeah. And, who the fuck wants to read Edinburgh Potmakers? Hard pass.
Nobody.
Hard pass. Okay. Rowling's favorite animal is the otter. And that, of course, is Hermione's Patronus. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty adorable. Mm-hmm. Interesting enough, Ron's Patronus is a Jack Russell Terrier, which is a breed of dogs that enjoy chasing otters.
Uh-oh.
Holla! Foreshadow!
Get it!
He did. He totally did.
Interspecies.
The love potion, Amortentia, smells different to everyone depending on what they like. And in whichever book it was that Hermione was like smelling the potion, I think it was actually like the 5th or 6th book. Hermione won't say out loud what the third thing is that she smells. She says it smells like this and that, and then like something else, and she won't say it. And Rowling discloses that the third smell she smells is Ron's hair.
Aww.
Which is so sweet.
I have a feeling Ron's hair smells kind of like sweaty.
But what if he secretly shops at Lush and he only buys shampoo?
Oh.
And then it smells great.
Oh, maybe so then.
Also, like, the smell of, like, someone you love, whether or not it's, like, stenchy or cigarettes or,
That's
like,
true.
booze, like, it still, like,
You'd like
spurs
it.
something in you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, you smell like old menstrual blood, but I like that.
I knew you were gonna say some bullshit.
What? What? How did you know?
He's a bitch.
That's facts.
Expecto Patronum is Latin for I await a protector.
Oh.
So that's kind of sweet.
I had no idea. 3 years of Latin, what'd you do me?
Nada. Which is Latin for you dumb! Bellatrix is Latin for female warrior. So that's fitting.
Approx.
Rowling found a lot of bizarre plant names for the series in a book titled Culpeper's Complete Herbal, which was a 17th century herbal handbook. So that's interesting. Culpeper.
Heard of that before.
Originally, Arthur Weasley was going to die at the end of Order of the Phoenix, but instead, Sirius Black took his place, leaving Arthur Weasley to survive to see one of his sons die and another lose an ear. So I feel like I read that she like grappled a whole lot with that because it was a really big choice to make and somebody had to die. And I mean, we'll never forget Sirius's death. Like it's extremely memorable.
And for that reason, I honestly think she made the better decision.
I think so too.
Because I think I love Arthur, but him dying wouldn't have had much of an impact on me.
And then it is super powerful for you to kind of think at the end of the 7th book that the Weasleys all pulled it through, and then to find that, like, actually they lost one. And, like, kind of the worst one to lose because it's a twin. So, like, not only is it, like, super horrible for the other twin, but also, like, the family, like, they didn't make it through. So it's just, like, I don't know. I thought it was really powerful. Stephen King once described Dolores Umbridge as the greatest make-believe villain to come along since Hannibal Lecter.
Which I agree with. Dolores
She's
Umbridge
the worst.
is horrifying.
Yeah, she is
and also
crazy.
Repulsive.
Yeah, she's bonkers crazy, horrible.
Yeah. Wretched bitch.
And yeah, and that's actually all that I have for all my little Harry Potter facts.
Look at you, all these little gems. Lots of little teasers for future episodes.
So, obviously there's like so much information about Harry Potter in general. But an interesting topic that we have talked a little bit about is like the religious implications within Harry Potter and like things that have stirred. There have been like book burnings and like other just like crazy nonsense. People not letting their children read it because it's like witchcraft. So like, I know you have pulled together some information on that. So can you just like fill us in on the nonsense that is like assholes not letting their kids read Harry Potter?
You know, I thought I knew like kind of what it was all about, and I went deep into the interwebs. I'm talking like thigh deep, and I learned so much stuff about sort of the religious debate over Harry Potter. And let me tell you, these people made me mad. I was angry. Also crazy.
Yeah.
Mad, angry, crazy.
All in one.
All right, so Morgie, this is a true-false quiz. Okie dokie. So, I'll read a little thing, and then you tell me if you think it's true.
Oh, shit.
Or false.
Oh, God.
You have a 50% chance.
I guess.
60% because you're smart.
Oh, thank
70% because you love Harry Potter.
I do.
10% because you're not that smart.
That's fair.
Okay. Number 1. J.K. Rowling is a Christian.
False.
True, actually.
Fuck.
Yes. She is a very open-minded liberal Christian, but yeah,
the best kind.
She is a Christian, the best kind. Yeah, the only true kind, I think. But don't tell people I said that. Whoa, something's happening now. Number 2, the Harry Potter books have been banned from private schools in the United Arab Emirates.
True.
Absolutely
yeah.
true. But you can still buy them in bookshops there. So they're not fully
But you
banned.
can't rent them for free at school. It's
Exactly.
easily accessible.
So if you Poe, then you're out of luck. Number 3. Harry Potter books have been the subject of at least 5 book burnings in the United States.
True.
Absolutely
Yeah,
true.
isn't that crazy?
It is. And they also threw in some Stephen King books, too. Like in New
Why
Mexico.
not?
They're like, whatever, one more to the fire.
I saw this thing recently, or like J.K. Rowling is like the queen of Twitter, and like there was recently another book burning people were rejecting because of, I don't know, like because they figured out someone was gay, or like I can't remember what the circumstance was, but they were like, we're burning all of, somebody tweeted and there was like, thanks a lot, J.K. Rowling, I'm burning all my Harry Potter books because of like X, Y, or Z. And she tweeted back and she was like, great, I already have all your money so you can borrow my lighter. Cause like, this is fucking stupid.
Well, I think book burnings are disgusting.
Yeah,
like, there's
it's
no book I would
horrible.
burn. Honestly. I even like, was it Mein Kampf or whatever? Hitler's book? I wouldn't burn that. I don't believe in burning books. I just don't. But also, it's so fucking stupid because how many Harry Potter books did you say were sold?
Over 500 million.
Okay, girl. Well, you can
It's not
burn
gonna make a
all day
difference.
and all night, but those books
You
are
can
everywhere.
still go to every Goodwill on the corner and pick up the whole
Lord.
series.
Yeah, made me so stupid. Of course, it's the principle. Whatever. Number 4. The common belief amongst fundamentalist Christians is that Harry Potter promotes the religion of Wicca and therefore violates the separation of church and state when it's in like school libraries. Is that true or false? True. It is true.
Which is bullshit because then they make you say the pledge where you say like one nation under God.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's just like, what?
Well, you know, I was
It's
reading
just
online and they were
crazy.
like, okay, look, if having magic in the story makes it a promotion of Wicca, which, by the way, Wicca is so different from the fantasy
it's not
magic of Harry
even,
Potter.
yeah.
There's nothing like it, but then we also have to get rid of, you know,
Chronicles
Iliad,
of Narnia.
the Chronicles of Narnia, Cinderella, any fairy tale, not allowed. Like, it's just stupid. It's
it's really dumb.
It's foolishness.
Ugh.
Next up. The Onion published a story entitled Harry Potter Sparks Rise of Satanism Amongst U.S. Children. And then this article was circulated by some certain fundamentalist Christians on their newsletter as proof of the evil of the series.
I feel like that must be true. It's like so specific.
Yeah, I made it really long. Hint, spoiler time, most of these are true. Because they're so ridiculous, I couldn't believe this shit.
That is great. I love
Isn't
when
that
people
funny?
like think the Onion stuff is true and
I
like
know,
use
it's
it.
so hilarious.
Like, it just really reiterates the point that we stand from, that they're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah, who don't do their research. Okay, true or false? 16% of Americans who have heard of the Harry Potter books have a negative view of them.
False.
That is false. It's only 7% who have a negative view.
Okay. I guess I can live with that.
Yeah. I mean, I dislike probably 80% of people in actual real life, so 7%, that's a tiny amount.
I assume that's an actual statistic for you.
The 80%?
Yeah.
Well, it's not an active aggressive dislike,
Yeah.
but an ambivalence that tends to
You're not going to call
dislike.
them to hang out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the way I am. What can I do? Okay. Pope Benedict what did he be? The 16th, while still a cardinal. Remember, he was the evil looking pope.
Okay.
Remember him? The one who, not the super cool one we have now, but the one right before
Oh.
him, who looked like Satan incarnate.
Did he like retire?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He was like, I quit.
Quote unquote retired. Yeah, he was so hated. Anyway, Pope Benedict, while still a cardinal, not yet pope, wrote in a letter that the Harry Potter books are subtle seductions that deeply distort Christianity in the soul.
And then he was like, can I get more, please? Is that true?
It is true.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I didn't like him anyway because he was really hateful and like conservative and looked evil, but that's just more reason for me not to like him.
Yeah.
I much prefer Pope Francis.
Yeah, he's pretty chill.
I love Pope Francis.
As far as like popes go, he's pretty chill.
Yeah, I'd say he's pretty chill just as a person. Like, I don't know. I like popes, though. They wear fabulous clothes.
They do.
I've got great
You like
taste.
their little hats.
Yeah, and their little curly shoes, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. The Mormon Church is one of the most energetic critics of the Harry Potter series.
True?
false, actually.
Okay.
I was so, astounded and pleased. You can buy all 7 of the Harry Potter books in the BYU bookstore.
Well, that's great.
Mm-hmm. They like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So that's a plus.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I know Mormons who like Harry Potter, so.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, this is a doozy, this one right here. Faiz Mohammed, an Australian radical Islamist preacher, believed to have inspired the Boston Marathon bombers, decried Harry Potter for its paganism, this is quote unquote, paganism, evil, magic, and drinking of unicorn blood.
True?
Yes, actual
Jesus.
quote. Actual quote. This man, he was mad because they drank the I think, in the...
You know who else was mad? Dumbledore.
Yeah, Didor was not having it.
You were trying to make Didor happen.
It's like slang from Europe. Yeah, well, you know what? In medieval era and the Dark Ages, often the unicorn stood in for Christ, But wait. Well, I don't know why. I don't know why he's upset about drinking unicorn. I just realized
absurd.
He's not Christian, so... Yeah, but that made him very upset.
That's crazy.
Maybe it means something. Anyway. Next up. Focus on the Family's Lindy Beam, who I just hate on principle. I hate her name. Has a problem not with the witchcraft in the books, but with the lack of religion. There's no prayer or meditation, or there are secular funerals, and there are no churches.
True.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess it's really just a list of things, right?
She's mad that they don't, pray and stuff?
Yeah, which I mean... they don't...
There's probably individual kids
everyone.
praying, it's possible at the dinner table, they're not gonna lead a prayer. It's not a religious school.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, I'm not, I don't care about that. And obviously JK wanted it to be open to all people, regardless of religion. That's why she didn't include it. But it is true, no one prays, no one ever goes to a church. The funerals are, secular.
They do celebrate Christmas. They get out for Christmas.
That's true.
But I mean, okay, so say they did pray at, dinner time. Dumbledore made everyone join hands and, whatever. What about Parvati Patil and her sister?
Exactly.
What they supposed to do? Sit on their hands and feel uncomfortable? Everyone at school is not going to be a Christian. What's her fucking name?
Oh, Lindy Beam.
Lindy, listen, girl, you're living in a bubble, and right now you be in a snowflake AF, and ain't nobody got time for you. Because if you want to pray, you're welcome to pray, Lindy. But you know what? If you ain't want to pray, you ain't supposed to be made to do it. And that's America, and that's Britain.
Oh, say can.
See?
Girl, preach it. Tell Lindy Beam what's what. Fuck this old Lindy Beam. I do see her point, though. I mean, she's right. It is a very secular world.
That's true.
That rolling shows. But of course, I love that.
Also, on top of that, there's, ghosts. So, that's a whole nother section of,
That's true.
issue with religion, I imagine.
Okay, last one. This one might well blow your mind. If your head explodes, please don't get blown on my walls.
Okie dokie.
Lev Grossman wrote an article for Time magazine entitled, Who Dies in Harry Potter? God, before the 7th book came out.
Holy shit.
True or false? True or false?
Oh my god, is it true?
That's totally true.
What? I have to read that immediately.
I haven't actually read the article, so my bad. But, I think it's about the fact that the Harry Potter universe is secular, the way JK writes it. But yeah, isn't that crazy? I was like, ooh, crossover with first episode, The Magicians.
That's awesome. I'm gonna read that.
My last little bit here, Morgie, for this whole, religious controversy. These people made me so mad. I was, sputtering and spitting. And then I made the mistake I was like, I wonder what they said when JK said that Dumbledore was gay.
You can't
and girl,
take to the
I went down that rabbit hole.
Can't.
And the rabbit hole.
Rabbit, because I'm British.
I am British. I went down the rabbit.
What?
Okay, so this is my least favorite person. Found about this lady on Wikipedia.
Ever.
I'm pretty close. In September 2005, Laura Mallory, a mother of 4 children, big deal, in Loganville, Georgia, attempted to have the Harry Potter books banned from her children's school library on the grounds that they promoted a religion, Wicca, and thus for a public school library to hold them would violate the separation of church and state. Y'all can't see my head, but it is like...
It is
I'm mad at this lady. Okay, so we already know that's bullshit, but whatever. On her website, she states, Harry Potter is being used to teach and promote witchcraft. Wicca, a U.S. government-recognized religion. She's a fucking idiot, first of all. In our schools, classrooms, and to this entire generation. Mallory said the books carry evil themes, witchcraft, demonic activity. First of all, can you think of a demon in Harry Potter? Is there a demon in Harry Potter?
No. I mean, I guess the closest thing would be like Voldemort's spirit inhabiting the back of like Quirrell's head.
Okay.
But not
really.
Quite demon status.
He's just a really bad guy who has the power to be a floaty cloud in the back of somebody's head. That's normal.
To be fair, I could maybe later find a character or two that she could consider demon, but it doesn't validate her situation at all.
Okay.
'Cause she a bitch.
Yeah, she is a bitch. So his books carry demonic activity, murder, evil blood sacrifice, spells, and teaching children all of this. That syntax, by the way, is fucked. Just so you know. Mallory, who is a Christian missionary, said that she believes the books encourage children to practice religious witchcraft or become Wiccans. Mallory also commented that she has not read the book series because, this is a quote, they're really very long, and I have 4 kids. I've put a lot of work into what I've studied and read. I think it would be hypocritical for me to read all the books, honestly.
That fuggly
I know.
slut.
Literally, there's blood pounding in my ears right now. I hate her. But, okay, she gets what's coming to her. Okay, I'm going to read this real quick.
Okay.
Following her case's rejection by the school, Mallory then took her case to the school appeals committee, but was rejected again. And on the 20th of April, 2006, Mallory took her case to the Gwinnett County School Board. But on 11th of May, the board voted unanimously against her. And in June 2006, Mallory launched an appeal against the county board's decision with the Georgia State Board of Education. That appeal was rejected. And in January 2007, she appealed to the Gwinnett Superior Court. That appeal, too, was rejected 3 months later, and she considered taking the case to federal court, but spent the following summer with her husband and 4 children. She is now an ordained minister for children and young adults, claiming that her case against Harry Potter has inspired her to a new calling. Girl, I've developed a mic.
Oh my god, she is
bitch.
So extra.
I cannot with her.
She never even read it. I mean, we've already talked about this, but if you never even read it, you have no room for an opinion if you haven't read it. Truly.
I'm like having a stroke right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like she's so extreme. Like she is the exception, obviously, because it is the best-selling book series of all time. But like, how interesting the psychology that leads one to be such a heinous cunt. How do you get there? I don't know. And don't take yourself down that path, I guess, dear listeners, because no. I mean, you will lose.
My mom had 5 children. There's nothing wrong with having 4 children, but I would like to point out that was on Wikipedia, which probably means that she edited that shit herself, because let's be honest, she doesn't have much better to do. And she put in there that she has 4 children like 6 times. Why? I get it. You're a mother.
Yeah, no shit.
Bitch.
Okay, so that was a lot.
Girl, I'm sweating.
Religious issues with Harry Potter.
I know it.
And we were with you on a couple of them, but on like most of them, we were like so thankful that you failed. But I think that it's time that we just like lighten up the mood a little bit. Like, why don't we just go into some games?
Let's do it.
Let's celebrate our love for Harry Potter.
Let's do it.
With fun.
Yay! Monopoly!
Woo-hoo!
I meant to scream Yahtzee. I totally just legit screamed the wrong
When we
name.
do play Yahtzee, we do scream. We only have one level for Yahtzee, and it's,
Yahtzee! You have to. If you're not playing it that way, you're not playing. All right, Morgie. Now, to kick us off into our game segment, I would like to go deep with Mickey.
Yeah.
You want to go deep?
I do. I've been there. It's not too bad, I guess.
So I have just a quick question for you here. It's no big deal. It's like an easy question to answer.
Uh-huh.
If you were to look into the mirror of
Arist
and saw your deepest, darkest desire, what would it be? What would you see there?
Oh, okay.
Thanks, by the way, for saying the name. I still can't do it.
If I close my eyes, I picture fields of gold and a diving board built for Scrooge McDuck, but myself on top of it.
Oh.
No, but I wouldn't mind being rich. Honestly, I think it depends where I'm at in my life. If I'm a kid, I realistically probably see some hairy bullshit of like a completed family that's like happy and loves each other. Just because I didn't have like the American ideal of like happy family. And so like I probably would have like thought about that. The older I get, Jesus, I mean, fucking happiness would be like a bill in the mail from my student loan company that said like $0 was due.
Yeah.
Most of my desires are centered around travel. So maybe I would be like looking at like my flight agenda for like my like around the world year of travel that like chronicled like everywhere I was going to get to go. And then like maybe I pulled my cell phone out and saw the money in my bank and I just scrolled through that because like I got to afford to bankroll my travel. And then like, I don't know, just like being free and happy and like unburdened. I think being unburdened is the central theme of my desires.
That. Unburdened. Yeah, I'm very into that. Yeah. I think, I was telling you before we were recording, this is really hard. Like, I wanted to ask this question because I think it is a really good question.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you got me the feels when you're saying you saw yourself with a complete family. I don't know that I ever wanted that, to be honest. Though, I feel that you did.
Yeah.
That's touching. I think I would like to look in the mirror and see not just my own being, but like, maybe the people around me and the environment around me to just be like beautiful and unburdened. That's why that touched me. Like simple and not broken and not like worn down.
Yeah.
And like new. I guess that's, unburdened and new. That's what I would see.
But like people you love as well. Like,
yes, but also my loved ones.
Yeah,
like
I
my
think
family
that
and my
makes
friends
sense.
and like, yeah. Like
that sounds fresh. Like
innocent.
just like a beautiful future.
Yeah. We're not all like chipped away by life, you know?
Oh man. I can totally see how you get like distracted and like stay there forever.
Oh my god, exactly. Yeah.
So sad.
And if I'm in a horny mood, then that's just porn right there. That's better than Tumblr, girl.
It's like you and Matthew Lewis who plays Neville Longbottom.
Exactly. Yeah. And one certain boy from high school.
Girl.
Okay.
Girl.
Now, one more. We're going to go even deeper now. I hope you're prepared.
Oh, I am.
Lay back and think of England. And describe yourself as a child in one word. Why that word?
Okay. One word.
And fugly doesn't count. That's a made-up
okay,
word.
it's a compound word. Okay, so something else. Oh, that's kind of hard too. I don't know, because you're always your harshest critic, and like I know, like you said, like earlier, that you were a precocious child, and like as much as I probably was, like I always like never thought I was better than anyone at anything. Like I always felt like so average about almost everything.
You're humble. Man.
I think that maybe voracious would be like a good word to describe me, because like when I picked a thing that I was interested in, especially like reading, like I couldn't get enough of it. Like whatever my latest like expression of myself, like I had to have like more and more and more of it. And like I'm kind of that way a little bit still. Like, I'm pretty voracious, but I also, like, am flighty. So, like, I can be voracious for a short stint of time.
Have to be, though.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to go with voracious.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, I love that more. Yeah, I totally see that child in you today, too.
Yeah.
Because you have a tiny smush child-like face.
And my nose looks like a ski slope. I mean, I'm disgusting.
No, you're gorgeous. I think I'd pick sensitive. I was a very, very sensitive child.
I can see that for you, too.
Mm-hmm. And you never knew, I know my family never knew what would, like, hurt me.
Set you off, yeah.
Yeah. Because it could be, like, just the most random of things. But you know what? A lot of that, frankly, I'm not blaming anyone necessarily, but it's because I was very devout as a child, but I also knew from a young age that I was queer. Yeah. So if you imagine this, and I was precocious, I was smart, so I saw that problem.
Yeah.
And I could not figure out, like, what to do. Yeah. And so that's why I was so sensitive. Yeah. Is because anytime really I, like, got in trouble for, like, a tiny thing, I would, like, lose my shit because to my little child mind, I was like, oh, okay, well, I definitely am evil then because I'm trying so hard to be good and, like, do everything well, but, like, I'm just doomed. Yeah. Like, God doesn't love, like, that was some deep, dark shit, girl. But yeah, very sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I feel like we've gone deep.
Okay, let's take a little, let's just lighten the mood. I'm going to ask you one question, and I want you to fill in the blank.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you what the real answer is.
Okay.
When Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone came to the States, the U.S. publisher, Scholastic, didn't feel like Philosopher's Stone resonated with a U.S. audience because we're just not familiar with the concept. So they wanted to change it, and the book title that they suggested was blank. What do you think they suggested in lieu of Philosopher's Stone? It's obviously not what we settled on.
Harry Potter and the Magic School.
They said Harry Potter and the School of Magic.
Oh, I was so close.
Did you read that?
This online.
Okay. And JoJo was like, hard pass. Yeah. She was like, you don't understand this at all.
You don't get the themes.
No. And then, as she had more power, gradually, she started rejecting the U.S. changes they would make. Mm-hmm. So initially, they would change lots of things. Like, they would change, like, crumpets to biscuits and rubbish to trash.
Trainer to sneaker.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And gradually she started being like, you know what? We're not going to cater to that anymore. And they've actually gone back and in newer releases, they have reverted some of those things, but they have never reneged on the Sorcerer's Stone. Like, that's a solid change.
You know what's fascinating about that to me is that around the 5th book, one of the reasons I do not like the 5th book is because that was the first book where I started seeing all of the English slang, English words, which I have obviously no problem with, but because it was the first time, to my mind as a reader, I thought it was indicative of messy writing. Because all of a sudden they were saying things like trainer that I had never seen in the books before, and I was like, she always said sneaker before, and now she's saying trainer, and it's like, it stood out to me as like rushed writing. Mm-hmm. But in fact, it wasn't that. It's that they'd fucked it from the beginning.
Yeah. So just inconsistent.
Yeah, like an inconsistency is what I read too as me. Yeah.
So, and I just reread The Sorcerer's Stone in the illustrated copy, which I got for Christmas, and it was beautiful and gorgeous and distracting and amazing. And when they were studying for their finals, before they went through the trapdoor and saved the Sorcerer/Philosopher's Stone, they kept saying that Hermione was, I can't remember the phrase exactly. I should have wrote it down, but she kept saying something like, we have to like write up our calendar or like write up our calendar.
Study schedules or something?
Yes. Yeah. But like the way they kept phrasing it, I was like, what the fuck are they saying that they're doing? And then eventually I was like, oh, they're just studying. Like that's what they're saying. They have to study for their exams. But the way they phrased it, like I was like legit lost. And it's because when I originally read it, in my other version, the other version I own, that's probably not what it says. Mm-hmm. But like in this new version, it is.
It's like some
ridiculous. Yeah. So that's just interesting stuff. Okay. speaking of other interesting things, why don't we play a little game that we like to call, it's a brand new thing that we just created.
Ooh.
It is Two Parents and an Orphan.
It's so mean-spirited. I love it.
So mean.
So this sounds similar to, say, Two Truths and a Lie.
Well, I guess that's a game that other people play. Yeah, I don't know.
It's I thought maybe it was the same, but I guess
just
it's not.
It's totally different, mostly.
Okay. Would you like to go first? Or do you want me to?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, so Two Parents and an Orphan.
Mm-hmm.
Crabbe was cut from the movies after he had a run-in with the law in London. So the actor who played Crabbe.
Oh.
Daniel Radcliffe... Okay, that's one. Daniel Radcliffe has openly said he was often blackout drunk during filming of the final movies. Okay, so that's the choice.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
J.K. Rowling almost didn't sign off on the Sorcerer's Stone movie because she didn't approve of Robbie Coltrane, who plays Hagrid. So one of those things is true. Oh, wait. Two of those things.
One parent and two orphans?
Sorry, there's two parents and one orphan in this fucking bunch.
Jeez,
one of these things is not like the other.
Jeez, this is a really hard one, Margie. I'm gonna guess that the orphan is Harry being blackout drunk. That seems hopefully not true.
It's so true, girl.
That's crazy!
Daniel Radcliffe is like a reformed alcoholic.
Dan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dan Noodles. And, he famously, like, talks about being, like, so drunk on set, like, during the last couple of movies, which he was, like, 17, 18, 19.
Which, yeah, and you start drinking over there at 16, so I guess that's...
Well, and as a child actor, probably much sooner.
Yeah, it's probably snorting heroin.
So
You're not even supposed to snort that.
He's...
You're doing it wrong,
You're
Dan.
giving shitty advice to, like, future drug addicts.
Oh, no.
But yeah, he notoriously, like, had a problem and would just be drunk, I guess.
No, I didn't hear about that a bit.
Crazy.
Poor guy.
Actually, The Orphan is the one about Robbie Coltrane.
Okay.
Because the fact is actually that she was not going to sign off on Sorcerer's Stone if he did not sign on. She envisioned him as Hagrid, and without him, she felt like the project was lost.
He is perfect in that role.
I mean,
he's
so.
a perfect Hagrid.
So I think that's interesting, though, that, like, she hinged her approval on his acceptance. That's a lot of weight to carry.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder if he is slipping her some of that giant D.
Oh, girl, you know he was.
Girl?
Just kidding. She's, like, married and has
It's
children.
like a Granny Smith apple.
Oh, what?
I know, it's tart.
Oh, and green? He needs to get that.
Maybe.
Looked.
Well, you know, it's a different species. Okay, so I've got two parents and an orphan for you. Option number 1. Hermione admits to breaking, this is in the book, to breaking a very important school rule before school even begins.
That she was practicing magic?
Okay, so you know that one. Okay,
oh, wait. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
That's okay. That's good. Okay, so maybe it's a parent. Maybe.
Oh, really?
Option number 2. Dumbledore is an old English word for bumblebee.
Okay.
Option number 3. McGonagall is the name of J.K. Rowling's favorite elementary school teacher.
That's the orphan.
How you know?
Because I knew the other two were true because I did a lot of research.
Oh, you all cunty bang bang.
Oh, chitty bang bang.
Yeah, you're totally right. Actually, I just had to make that up on the spot because my thing was all about Philosopher to Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh.
My orphan, anyway.
Oops.
Look what I actually wrote. I should have just done this. The reason Scholastic changed the title of the first book for U.S. publication is because they also published the book Ronnie and the Philosopher's Stone the same year.
Oh, shit!
Would you have been fooled by that? No.
No, but that's a hilarious book. And also that, like, it happens to be Ron. Is
yeah, I know. But yeah, so Hermione, so I was reading online that yes, Hermione admits to doing simple spells, quote unquote, before they even get on the train. But the kind of like loophole that people found online is that they weren't students yet.
Right. And like a lot of the kids accidentally perform magic.
Exactly. So, but I don't know. To me, I was like, nah, girl, you broke the rules. Maybe you didn't know there was rules, but like you already got the letter.
She's a rule
You got
breaker.
the school book and the wand. So,
Okay, Mickey. And now I would like to take you on a little journey for a brand new game that I think might be lucrative for future podcasts.
Ooh, by lucrative, you mean money.
Yeah, we're going to be rich.
Rich, motherfucker!
Okay, so I'm calling this game, What the Fuck?
I like it.
And it's where we look at the FAQs on IMDb, or other sites, depending on what we're looking at, for the specific content that we're doing. So today I have culled some questions from the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone FAQ on IMDb, and I'm going to just put you to the test and see what you can answer.
Well, I'm a genius, so I feel good.
Okay.
I'm a genius!
Baby. Mickey, somebody wants to know, what is the Sorcerer's Stone?
The the Philosopher's Stone?
Yeah.
It is part of the ancient art of alchemy, and it has the ability to turn any metal into gold. It also, I think, part of the thing about the Sorcerer's Stones or Philosopher's Stone is that it can't be held in anything, like it's an eternal solvent or something like that. And then supposedly it's part of a formula for immortality.
Right, so you can distill the elixir of life from it, which is the immortality, and the process by turning lead into gold is called transmutation. Oh. Yeah, so it's a very, very special stone. Mickey, where do the Dursleys live?
The Dursleys live on Privet Drive.
Privet Drive, yes.
Oh, is it Privet? Oh, I totally thought it was Pivot.
In Little Winging, Surrey. Where is Surrey?
It's a made-up place. No. I don't know, though.
The end.
Yeah. It's fantasy.
So Surrey is basically the suburbs of London. It's one of the suburbs. It's about 40 minutes southwest of London.
And old Wingding really exists?
Little Winging, I guess.
That's silly. You all English people, y'all crazy.
And what do Harry's aunt and uncle do for a living?
As far as I know, Aunt Petunia is a homemaker. She is really good at craning her neck over the fence.
A homemaker is a really nice way to say, is she a fucking housewife?
Yeah, she a housewife. But she makes the home. She makes those puddings. And,
oh yeah, she does sound like she makes pretty epic desserts and food.
Yeah,
I mean,
not that Harry gets to eat them.
Those other dudes are fat as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So something about she's making is good. And then, Harry's uncle works for a company that makes drills.
Yes, he's the director of Grunnings, which is a drill manufacturer. Great. Yeah, you did great.
Thanks,
like when I read that at first, I was like, I have no idea what he does. I already forgotten. I just read it. How many Weasley children are there?
Oh, jeez Louise. So there's always one more than I think.
So think of the ones you know. And
just
add one. Yeah. So X equals redhead kids plus one.
Charlie, Bill, Percy, Ginny, Ron, and the twins. So I just counted 7, so I'm going to guess 8.
You actually nailed it. There are 7.
All?
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck yes.
So Percy is the oldest one at Hogwarts while Ron and the twins are there. The twins, of course, are Fred and George. Ginny comes in later. And then there's Charlie, which he is studying dragons in Romania. And then there's a 7th Weasley kid named Bill, and he doesn't get mentioned until like a little bit later, I think, but he is working with Gringotts in Egypt.
Yeah.
Mickey, do you know where Hogwarts is located?
Oh, Hogwarts is...
Just so you know, I didn't 100% know until I found the answer out. Because they don't say it outright.
You know what? This is England, so it's probably located in Surrey with the fringe on top.
Oh, yeah, that's the very one.
Was that close?
Yeah, Mary Poppins' house.
Yeah.
Hogwarts is actually located in Scotland.
Damn it, I wanted to say Scotland.
Isn't
Why
that
didn't
crazy?
I? Yeah.
So, and you can surmise this from the books by the amount of time it takes for them to get there by train. It takes about 6 hours, and... I mean, just by elimination, 6 hours from the heart of London.
Gotta be Scotland.
It's not a very big place, so...
It's either that or it's out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, so it's in Scotland. Huh. And then also in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, they mentioned that there's a substantial acromantial Acromantula colony in Scotland, which is subconsciously Hagrid's fucking spider friends out in the woods, which we find more out in, like, Chamber of Secrets.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. This one we kind of already talked about. Where did the Mirror of Eris get its name? Eris is the word desired spelled backwards.
Mm-hmm. And it will forever be Erised in my head. Like, it's over.
And
I've
maybe
said that
that's
for too
right.
long. No, yours makes sense.
Do you know, Mickey, who bought Harry his broom, the Nimbus 2000?
A part of me wants to say Sirius Black, but I don't see how that could be true.
No, he bought him his broom later when he gets that other nice broom.
In that case, McGonagall?
The answer is, it's never answered.
Oh,
and
okay.
truly the two choices that it could be is Professor McGonagall, because, number one, it's in her best interest for Harry to do well because she chooses him to be Seeker. And also because she knows that he's receiving the broom and like talks to him about it and is like, don't tell the other kids. Mm. So she's one choice. The other choice is that it's Dumbledore because it would just make sense that Dumbledore give him a gift because he's that kind of person. But we don't actually know, and it's never solved.
And
they
that's
never
a mega expensive gift too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even Malfoy doesn't have that broom.
So possibly one of those people, but we really don't know.
I think it's like the equivalent of like a Porsche or something.
Yeah, and I like to think actually that McGonagall got it for him because I think that's sweet of her.
You know what happened? She had all her little savings and she spent them all on that broom.
And then he fucking destroys it later.
I know! Whomping Willow my ass.
Okay, last what the fuck.
Ooh, I like this game.
How many Quidditch players are on a team?
Oh, I can do this. 3 chasers, a keeper, 2 beaters, and a seeker. 7.
That's right. You fucking nailed
it. Woo-woo.
Yeah. So that sums up my favorite questions from the FAQ section. People are wanting to know what the fuck. And we're here to tell them.
We're telling them a fact.
Okay. So I just want to take you on one last journey.
Girl, I'm mad already. You know how mad I already got so mad earlier, now I'm getting mad.
We really love Harry Potter. And the weirdest fucking thing is that, like, other people don't?
What?
I truly don't understand.
4 children.
So, today we've done something a little different, and I have called second opinions from Goodreads. Book readers who have some shade to throw. And Mickey can attest to all the angry red marks I have written on my page next to these reviews.
Vaguely schizophrenic.
I have a lot of problems
some angry arrows
with their reviews. So I'm going to just have to... we're just going to have to just jump right in. Okay.
Serenity now.
Tina Smith.
Oh, this bitch.
1 star. Tina Smith thinks there's not enough espionage and lack of heat. Harry is about as complex and interesting as a loaf of bread. I'm in awe that it reached such status. Maybe I should liken it to football. Entertains, she spelled with an I, BT dub.
Oh, God.
Entertains the masses whilst lacking any need for thought or question. A shallow look at life at Hogwarts. Okay, Tina.
I'm like almost in tears, this bitch.
Tina.
Tina Smith?
We're not even going to get into your lack of grammatical corrections.
Okay.
Unless I remind you, your picture and your profile is attached to this review, and you will be hearing from me.
So, God, first of all, a loaf of bread is actually not that simple. I'd like to point that out. Have you seen the Great British Bake Off?
I have not, but I have made a loaf of bread.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. There's a lot of intricate factors, many hours, lots of rising and setting and kneading, and you don't even know, Tina.
She doesn't know, Tina.
She doesn't even go here.
And second, espionage?
Did she want a mystery novel?
What
Did we say it was a Dean Koontz novel?
This ain't no damn brown shit.
This ain't Dean Koontz.
But you're the Koontz. You're a brown Koontz.
You are.
Oh, that sounded racist. Oh, I take that back.
I think Tina's white, so it's so...
I was so angry.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to move on, but I think it's safe to say, Tina, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck you, Tina.
Okay, Lauren, whose secondary name in parentheses is Sugar and Snark No, I'm not here for it. Not on board. Sugar and snark. And look, she's got her little picture. She looks like me if I ate 12 donuts and then threw up.
She looks like she's recently vomited.
Yeah. So, Lauren, I think preemptively we can tell you, go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself, Lauren.
Lauren thinks, first of all, you have to ask yourself this question. How old am I? If the answer is above 10, please put the book down. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. Fucking girl. Lauren.
I want to tell you, it's real dangerous right now that most of the things in my room are flammable because they are lasers shooting out my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm furious.
Pretty much. And also, like, Lauren, if you weren't so #blessed to read the first Harry Potter book when you were like 10 or 11, I said Harry Potter. But you know what? Fuck Lauren.
I bit my own knee.
When you were laughing at me.
We're falling to pieces.
If she's not so blessed to have read it when she was young, this is a cry for, like, sympathy. She is sad that she was not young enough to read it. Or maybe her family was poor. Maybe she identified with the Weasleys. And this is really where the pain is emerging from.
You know what? Based on her picture, I'm thinking that she probably was catatonic or in a coma for most of her childhood. And that's why the skin hangs off her face like that.
And as our girl Gretchen Wieners would say, irregardless. You a bitch. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Sugar and farts, I say.
Oh, you burnt. Okay, moving on. Chippy moves like Jagger Marco, which is truly what he has his name in here as.
Pathetic.
Chippy says, did not finish. I was so bored to tears. It's definitely for kids, not adults, because it'll put you to sleep unless you haven't grown up. Look at Chippy's picture. It's a fake-ass internet image of a dude with tattoos and a six-pack.
Oh my God.
That is not Chippy moves like Jagger and Marco.
Chippy Marco.
Honestly, once again, Chippy, you did not finish Harry Potter, the first one, so I'm assuming you didn't finish the whole series. So just in a nutshell, go fuck yourself.
You know what? I've met boys like Chippy Marco.
He's a fuckboy if I ever saw one.
Exactly.
Moves like Jagger.
He ate all the paste in elementary school. You burnt.
So, we're done with you.
Yeah.
A girl just named Sarah with an H.
It's a good name. It's a good name.
Sarah did not give a review. She only shelved the book under a series of shelves that she found comical that she created. In Goodreads, you can shelve a book under something. Normally it's something like want to read, already read, but you can get witty with it. Let me read you Sarah's shelves. Sarah shelved it under rubbish. Where is the plot? Where have all the heroes gone? Fantasy. I tried. Fops and fools. Vanity, thy name is author. Isn't that convenient? Book full of idiots. Dark-haired male entity. How very original. Orphans. Beware of useless adults. Because magic. Imported from Britain. Schools out forever. Crazy train. London calling. Rule Britannia. Good ideals get lost. Character overpopulation. Middle grade. Hollow gothery. 1% problems. First world problems. Beware of martyr. All these white people. Killed by hype. Can this stop being popular now? Unpopular opinions. Read something else. And her last one. Narcissistic millennials. Sarah, girl. It must have taken her 25 minutes to type in all those bookshelves.
Yeah, can I just say, this is too much social media time right here on Goodreads. All those fucking stupid-ass bookshelves. Oh my God.
Her review was from February 11th, 2017. This extra bitch did not spend 25 minutes on Goodreads making fucking shelves that she thought were funny that she can't even hashtag that nobody but me is reading on the air for people to just say, go fuck yourself, Sarah.
Go fuck yourself, Sarah. You know what Sarah is? Sarah's a troll. That's what she is.
She is a troll.
And I'll tell you what. If I walked into a bathroom and she was trying to attack my friend, who is kind of my friend, even though she's a little bossy, I would absolutely Wingardium Leviosa her club right onto her big stupid face.
And that bitch would probably secretly love Harry Potter and be like, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Swish and flick. Fuck you, Sarah.
Fuck you. Okay, I just I literally have to narrow this down, so I just have a couple more, okay?
Oh, God. I don't know if my heart can take it, Morgie.
I'm just sum this one up. This lady's whole review, Bria, her whole review is based on the idea that, Harry, you're a wimp. Which,
well,
okay, Harry's like 11, though.
Yeah.
And for 11,
very small child.
he accomplished a lot of things.
Yeah.
And he was pretty brave at the end to face his fears.
Yeah, by himself. Yeah.
I guess, Bria, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Well, fuck you. What did you do at 11?
Probably not a damn thing.
Yeah. Shat yourself.
Megan Anderson, who is a teacher, has given this review. I've read this book twice before and hated it both times. So what did I do? I gave it a few years and a few hundred other children's young adult novels. Then I read it a third time to see if my opinion has changed. Nope. Still hate it. And she shelved it under 2009 fantasy, bullying, abuse. First of all, let's break this down. Megan, are you trying to brag that you spent a few years reading a few hundred other children's and young adult novels? Okay, you're a teacher. Pick up a adult book.
You tell her, Mark.
Now, and I'm hesitant to...
You pick up an adult book.
I'm hesitant to give her this critique because I'm a big fan of young adult and children's books.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm not trying to go on the internet and brag that, like, I read a few hundred other ones that I think are better. Well, that's your opinion, but look at the numbers, bitch. The numbers do not lie.
Well, can I say too, okay, I've also read, between us, we've read hundreds of young adult books.
Surely.
What is it? She didn't put anything in that fucking review about why it's not good or why she dislikes it. What a useless ass review.
And if she thinks books are useless because they're fantasy or about bullying or about abuse, she ain't read too many young adult books because that's a central thing.
Like, every Ronald Dahl book is essentially that also,
yeah.
can I just say?
Yeah.
Lemony Snicket series, absolutely. Frankly, there's plenty of abuse and cruelty in the Chronicles of Narnia. She hate those too? What's her name?
Megan Anderson.
Oh, Megan Anderson. You're a bitch.
You a bitch. You old salty bitch.
Girl.
Okay. Two more. Jessica has shelved it under crappy classics. Jessica's review reads as follows. Harry Potter is like 50 Shades of Grey in the following ways. 1. The hype about the books is what sold the books. The books themselves suck. 2. The writing styles are horrific. 3. The plots are flimsy and meandering. 4. The characters are one-dimensional and simplistic. Both books are a testament to the overwhelming power of the insidious, and saturatiousness, yes, I just made up that word, fuck you, marketing machines in the US and the UK. Jessica, are you listening, girl? Because I'm gonna need you to listen close. This book is like 50 Shades of Grey in one way, in which that you secretly love it and masturbate to it. That is the only way this book is like 50 Shades of Grey. Because he a little boy. I don't care if you was looking at the old gaping hole in the back of Quirrell's head, that's what got you, or if you liked Hagrid and his big man hands, or maybe you was into unicorn blood, but somehow, someway, girl, this book is actually what does it for you. And that's why you so mad.
That's why you felt the need to go online and denigrate the good name of Harry Potter by comparing it to trash. You know what I bet she likes? I bet she likes Dan Brown novels.
Oh, she would.
Yeah. Not that those are so horrible, but I just have a feeling.
To her third point, speaking of plots that are flimsy and meandering, this review is flimsy and meandering.
Yeah. With all kinds of made-up-ass words in it. Yeah, I made that word up. Get out of here.
So, Jessica, for the sake of time, we're just going to go ahead and say, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you. Okay, our last review, which may be the pinnacle of just go fuck yourself.
My head might explode.
Okay. Mark.
Oh, I hate him already.
Has obviously rated it 1 star.
Okay.
J.K. Rowling totally copied off of Narnia and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Jesus.
And then here's his list of the reasons.
Okay.
The ring is the Horcrux. The ring having a piece of the Dark Lord's soul / Horcruxes carry a piece of the Dark Lord's soul. It's extremely hard to destroy a ring / hard to destroy a Horcrux. Okay.
It's not that hard.
Let's just say the ring and the Horcrux are the exact same thing.
That's not. Oh, that's stupid. Okay.
The ring makes Dark Lord immortal. The Horcrux makes Dark Lord immortal. Dark Lord/Dark Lord. I mean, honestly, JK had time to take the same word pathetic. The dead bodies that Frodo sees, the resurrected bodies Harry sees in the Half-Blood Prince. Galadriel's future seeingable / the pensive, which, no, not even remotely,
That's
at all the same purpose.
Ridiculous. I'm literally looking through cracks in my fingers.
Sam is Ron.
What?
Merry and Pippin are the Weasley brothers. Gandalf is Dumbledore. A Dumbledore is a creature in the Lord of the Rings, which we've already established was already a word that means bumblebee. Destroying a ring, destroying the Dark Lord is the same with Voldemort and destroying Horcruxes. And then just spiders. He just thinks they have spiders in common, so it's a copy. I can't even with this motherfucker.
Wow.
We have already discussed and established.
Is that important sheet of paper?
You crumple it. You ate it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I got my plugs over here. So that's cool. You can eat it.
I ate it. I chewed it up.
You ate Mark's fucking words. We have established and discussed that Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings literally changed the history and the course of fantasy as we know it. And of course, there are many homages to different aspects of Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings.
And essentially every work of modern fantasy.
Purposefully, there are so many relatable things from that story. Now, to go out and say that she straight up plagiarized any of her ideas from the Lord of the Rings is to say that all fantasy is plagiarized.
Essentially.
Nothing is original.
No.
And also, I'm just not on board with it. Like, you can't just say Sam is Ron and just expect that to be a reason that's the same.
No. That's really a
because a hero
right
has
They're
a best friend.
Incredibly different characters.
Yes, so different.
Yeah. Also, now I get the only one that I'm I hesitate to give this Mark Demon any more power than he has, but I do see the Gandalf Dumbledore comparison. I do see that. They're similar kind of enigmatic old men. First of all, that's a fantasy trope.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Bulgarian, right?
Of course. My
and
favorite.
1,000 other, right? Also, though, I love Gandalf, and I'm glad that's a fantasy trope. Because I want that man all the time.
Yes.
Like, you know. But you know what really is just too much for me, Morgie? Like, I'm having palpitations. I've got IBS. This man just gave me IBS. He gave me
sick
IBS.
right now.
I am. I'm sick of this. The ring and Horcruxes are very, very different things.
Yes,
and a Horcrux is not that hard to destroy. Do you remember in the second book where he takes the fang and stabs it through the journal? That's it, girl.
There's only one way to destroy the ring.
And it's in Mount Doom.
Yeah.
And it's Verhar
there.
difficult.
It's Verhar.
It's Verhar. And even when you throw it in, it comes up on a little piece of lava.
And it's like, maybe.
And it floats on there for a second. And you're like, what, girl, really? But then it finally is done.
Also, there is, maybe he forgot there's one ring to rule them all.
No.
There's 7 Horcruxes.
Girl! And that one ring was made by an elven craftsman.
Honestly... to say that there was no merit to Mark's points is wrong.
No,
yes.
there are similarities.
But to say that he is right is more wrong.
That's evil is what that is. That's black magic.
So, we just really need to bring it down. So just for like one last time, maybe we could say it together.
Go fuck yourself, Mark!
Wow. So, I'm just really glad that we got that out together.
I might not live through the night. No, that was a lot of emotion just coursed through my veins, baby.
Well, as salty as things got here, babies, we have a lot more opinions to share with you. So, if you really want to hear some more from us, which we really hope you do, don't forget to subscribe to Beauty and the Bitch. We're on iTunes, Stitcher. You can find us online, any other podcasts. Subscription services. You can find us on our website. We are at bnbcast.wordpress.com.
And our blog is popping right now.
Yes, follow our blog, baby. Weekly posts. You can follow us. I said us.
Good, I burped too, so that's perfect. Okay.
You can follow us on our social medias. We are we're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Look us up at B&B Cast. We got some mad marketing material. We do, I guess. If you want to hit us with an email, you can track us down at beautyandthebee@gmail.com. If you're on Instagram and you want to look me up personally, you can find me at Morgandolph.
And if you would like to hit me up personally on Facebook, my name is Mick, M-I-C, Parker, and I would love to have you as my friend. Unless you agree with Mark, in which case, girl, you better block me from your feed.
Go home.
You're done.
All right. And Mickey, did you have something you wanted to plug this week?
I do have a plug.
Tell us, baby.
So we teased this earlier, but a podcast that I really love that is all about Harry Potter is called Harry Potter and the Sacred Text. Now, Morgie, you listen to this, don't you?
Not religiously, but I've listened to some and I love it.
That's kind of where I am too. It's hosted by two really fantastic, smart, funny people named Vanessa and Casper. And there are some similarities between our podcast and their podcast.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of feeding the enemy biscuits here. But,
they're fabulous, though.
They are so fabulous. He is a gay man. She is a fabulous woman. And together they go chapter by chapter through the Harry Potter series and discuss each chapter as if it was a sacred text. So they think about themes. It's so smart. And they pull out some really beautiful things out of the different chapters. And they're a multi-faith team. I think one of them is Jewish. Actually, I'm not certain. They're definitely a multi-faith team. And they pull these like religious traditions from many different faiths in order to look more fully at the chapter they're talking about. Yeah. It's really good. It is kind of intensive. I do kind of like to leap around the way you do, Morgie. Yeah. So like if I know a part of the books are coming up that I don't too much care for, I might just skip it for a few weeks. Yeah. But they're really lovely. So it's called Harry Potter and the Sacred Text. You should check it out. What about you, Morgie? You got a pluggy plug?
I have two little quick pluggy plugs I want to give you.
Little butt plug?
Little butt plugs. So recently I went to a podcasters meetup in Austin, Texas, which they're pretty new in their group. So thankfully I'm kind of like on board at the beginning. So I learned a lot and I met a lot of nice people and I just want to plug meetups. Meetups are happening everywhere that you live. Just get online, meetups, whatever your city is. If you're new to a place and you don't have any friends or you don't have access to the things that you're passionate about, you want to go rock climbing, but you don't have any ropes. There's a meetup group for that. You can meet people that are out there rock climbing that want to like bring you along and just bring you into like their circle and like just meet new people.
I think the best way to find the meetup for you is to go onto Craigslist, into the personals, and you should post, I am a hungry bottom. That is code. That's code, you see, for I'm looking for a meetup.
That is solid advice. So scratch all the things I said and just do it mix up.
Yes, Craigslist meetups.
That's so gross. The other plug I want to throw out is actually last night I just watched Hidden Figures, which got a little bit of Oscar love, but didn't win a ton of stuff, but is amazing and fantastic. Hidden Figures is the story of these, it centers on three women, but the story of all of the Black women who secretly helped NASA launch our space program.
Oh, yes. People rave about that.
And the brilliant minds that went behind that and how just shitty, of course, they were treated at the time in the 60s pre-Civil War, or pre-Civil Rights. They were treated terribly and they changed the trajectory of our country. And it's just a movie recognizing their efforts. And it was beautiful and hilarious and sad and heartwarming. And everyone was incredible. All of the actresses. Like, it was fantastic. It's like Janelle Monáe, Taraji P. Henson, and starring Octavia Spencer also, who has like previously won Academy Awards or whatever. Anyways, everyone is fabulous. Mahershala Ali, who just won an Academy Award this year for his role in Moonlight. He was also in Hidden Figures. So basically it's a fantastic, super feminist, super empowering movie that reminds you that we used to be shitty and we should do better, and also that like women fucking rock. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That sounds amazing. Did you watch it on Netflix?
I rented it on Amazon. Yeah, but so that's it for this week. What are we going to be talking about next week, Mickey?
Ooh. Next week we're talking about one of my favorite things things.
Me!
One of my favorite things.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that situation.
No problem. We're talking about Mean Girls.
That is so fetch.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Oh my
it's
God.
not going to happen.
I love it.
Are those hoops? Take off those hoop earrings.
Oh,
hoops
I know.
are my thing.
I know they're so your thing. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I think this is one of the best. So we've already... Wait. Fuck it.
Fuck it!
So we've actually already recorded this episode, but it's coming out next week, and I have to tell you, I love the way it came out. You can tell that we are very passionate about bullying teenagers.
Yeah.
And that's important.
We have a lot of experience, which really helps.
We really do.
Yeah.
We really do. So please tune in 2 weeks from now for that next episode. You're going to love
Yes. Until then.
Bye, BBs.
Bye-bye, BBs. That is our outro music. You fugly sluts. Can't believe it. Boo boo.